So we're going to start today off with a little bit of sad news, and then we're going to transition very quickly into some funny and obnoxious and good news and all the kind of normal stuff. It's not necessarily sad news. It's just a sad experience, right?
Okay.
So I have next couple weeks are tight for me. And anytime that I have like a vacation coming up or a festivity or a convention coming up, I always have to cram a lot of stuff into those so that I can allow the content to not be interrupted by the events, because the events are going to tie up my time.
Yeah.
So this morning I did 2 sit-down Saturdays before.
Damn. Wow.
Damn,
I would look for Q&A part 2. Last week it wasn't Q&A part 2. I was like, what the fuck?
So the second one I did was Q&A part 2.
Okay.
I can tell you exactly what day it's going to publish. It's looking like it's going to publish May 21st.
Yeah, right during
I thought it was going to be like every week for the next 3 weeks or something.
No. So, and as it turns out, I think 2 will cover it, unless the Patreon folks want to ask more, in which case I'll do more. But one of the questions on there was for me to give my story, my truth, Joe. In many ways, I'm living my truth.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm living my truth, dude. Let me
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Dude, you never want to let me live my truth. About why Adam left Nerve Rage.
I thought, you've covered this extensively.
Yes.
More or less.
More or less. So I had to talk about it, right? But I had to talk about it in a way where it wasn't, because I've done it on Wine and Cheese on Patreon to a therapeutic level.
Yes.
You know, like I took the whole 5 grams, you know. But in terms of like in the public, I've kind of it's been little cheeky tongue and, you know, stuff. So I had to kind of walk down it, and I had to kind of walk down it in a very balanced and fair way. Because I like
Fox News.
Yeah. So, you know, because like it's I have to answer the question. I have my perspective, but I also want to try to, I don't like, because I don't view the dude as a monster, so I don't want to paint him as a monster, right?
I mean, I still hang out with him.
Yeah. You know, which is fine. We were friends first, but you do what you want to do, Joe.
Hello?
So I had to tell the stories, and then I had to edit footage over top of it. I'm using pictures and everything, and I started getting bummed out.
Oh,
yeah, like sad, like big sad.
No.
So I had that happen. Now, just to put it in perspective, the insanity of my day. I had to ask you guys if you guys could do Friday evening, because Monday,
which is now,
worked
out for me.
So it worked out for Phil.
I'm glad someone's happy, Phil.
So,
hey, man, I never get to come on live.
So the truth is that I'm recording this year's song on Monday, which interrupted the plans, and as a result, I had to move some stuff around. I'm getting my floors repaired on Wednesday, so it was so much happening that it was just all. Mother's Day is Sunday. I work tomorrow. Like it was just everything was fucked.
I mean, it was very inconvenient for me to walk next door.
Yes, but I mean, people got their own fucking.
Do you know
lives.
how much I'm missing? I'm missing 3 hours of wrestling.
Right.
Are you gonna watch that for me, Bobby, and tell me what happened?
No.
That's what you got to do overnight. Hey, you know what? You got to watch
my
3
penance.
hours of wrestling, and I need detailed notes. You know what? I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
So
Luckily, I recorded it all.
this morning I did two sit down Saturdays, and then had lunch, and then I did a podcast for Patreon, and then I did some extra bonus stuff, like afterthought stuff for Patreon, and then I had dinner, and now I'm doing Nerve
That's the
Rage.
saddest part of all. You didn't get pizza on Friday.
I did not get pizza.
I want to make this clear to people. If you're on the Patreon past the $1 level, you are getting your money's worth. I've joined some other Patreons.
Beat up with content, bro.
Yeah, it's probably annoying how much stuff Bobby's giving.
It's every day.
Because I mean, I'm on some Patreons for some wrestling stuff, and you get like 2 things a week for $10.
Yeah, I'm every day. Like if you're at the $10 level, you get something every day.
Hey, it's me. It's Bobby. Hey, just letting you know. Hey, here's where your money's going. Wake up calls.
You get something every day, and
It's like a goddamn year-long
Have
advent
you
calendar.
done wake up
Bobby Schofields?
calls and answering services yet?
no,
Like they answer it with voicemail
no,
messages?
but I would. That's easy.
What about
This motherfucker.
That's easy. That's easy.
You need to get on Cameo. Get on Cameo. I guarantee
Dude,
you
I gotta
people will
do.
buy
I
Cameo.
gotta figure out a cameo for Thirsty Thoughts.
You should. But you got to wear your hat backwards for it.
Oh, no, please.
Yeah, you're like,
Come on.
he's like Stallone in Over the Top. It's how
Yes,
he turns
yeah,
on the
flip it
power.
over. Yeah, yo,
He
you turn
turns the
hat
hat
over, that's
backwards, and that's
business.
the power.
I love the movie, bro. Just
So yeah, so we are recording this Friday night. It is episode 350. Not that. But
man.
you know, a little bit of cheers to us for 350.
It's been a hard couple of years
wine,
here.
a monster, and
Congrats.
2 coffees.
Up for the ones we love, down for the ones we lost, and we drink.
Coffee.
And me and Chris are having coffee because I'm assuming it doesn't affect you either, right? You can drink coffee and go to bed.
You're correct.
I can too.
But
Yeah.
honestly, it's like the coffee gets me in the mindset for this show. It would be strange as fuck to me if we didn't have coffee.
Yeah. So like, I have to have coffee or alcohol.
Well, see, you sit down here with
coffee
alcohol.
and Mountain Dew, man. That's every time.
All
Fair
things
amount.
considered, more often than you do with coffee.
Yeah,
But for
that's
us,
true.
it's always coffee. That's the thing about perspective.
That's true.
Everybody's is a little different.
So we are doing this on Friday night, so there's not going to be as many questions. But we do have Phil here, so we have extra nerd weeks, and then we have
My
We
lack
have
of
some-
weeks.
some
It's been 2 days,
conversations.
motherfucker. It's been 2 days.
some conversations as well. So let's go ahead and start off. Phil, ironically, who hit us up and said, "Hey, you guys going to be doing anything special for 350?" The answer is yes, Phil. The answer is yes.
Just for you.
I'm here.
Just for you.
Correct. So how has your nerd since last time you've been here
Before
been?
we do that,
Okay.
are we going to keep admittedly spoilery stuff? Do you want to put that at the very end?
I'm down for that.
conversation?
I'm down for that. I'll
Let's
be
do
nice
that
and
for the
drunk by
people
then, so I'll be super rage.
Okie doke. Let's do that for several reasons, but one mainly for Doctor Strange, and
Moon Knight just ended too.
Yeah.
right. So if you guys would rather enjoy up to then,
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
fair.
trying to skip oddly around,
I think
so
that's-
we'll,
I think that's-
we'll
just
smack it
fucking
over.
count down
and then
and
Joe
tell
can
him
just
to skip.
leave if he
All the
wants.
countdowns I had to come.
Yeah. All right. Sorry,
All right,
Phil.
so a couple movies, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, Chris been recommending that shit to me.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So not that I needed to look at you to say this.
You
I didn't.
but you did
It's-
though.
But I didn't.
You didn't have
but I
to.
didn't need to.
You didn't have to, but you did.
glad-
And
I'm
I'm
glad
gonna
for
blame it.
Joe as well.
I'm gonna blame it on the hair. I'm gonna blame it on the hair.
Dude, Kung Lao.
But Billy Fong
Yes.
hit me
Yes.
up and said you
Yep.
should watch that instead of
Yep.
Multiverse of Madness.
The only thing-
It's the multiverse done right. is
Yeah,
what he said.
it is.
Multiple people sent me like,
definitely.
watch this
Wow.
movie. It's good
Yeah.
and it's good multiverse.
The only caveat for Bobby specifically is there's subtitles for some of it.
Oh yikes! I'm gonna say this too. I edited a lot of pictures of you today.
Why?
During the Nerd Rage conversation? I'm going to tell you this, Joe.
Wait, what?
That I just did for the Sit Down Saturday. Were you listening? I feel like you're not
No,
listening.
you.
to me.
But why?
You didn't say this
oh,
doesn't matter.
Is there a wall? There's a
no,
wall.
I didn't
Let's-
because
Joe.
you didn't mention me in there. Why would I even be in there?
Let's tear down the wall between us, Joe.
the Great Wall.
Hey,
didn't
those
say
are
that.
your words.
No,
not
I didn't
his.
either. I thought it was.
thought it as well, but
And I was trying to figure out how to
like-
weave it into the conversation. But we've already got someone here to fill in the blanks tonight.
Fucking Friday night, motherfuckers.
Laid it down like a
But
mason.
yeah, I forget that I'm part of that whole place.
Correct. So I'll tell you this.
Yes.
While you are aging very well, better than anyone at this table,
Yes.
I'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah,
So don't take this as a me versus you. It's not. You look mad older with long hair.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
With the long hair is older.
Looking at all
Really?
those short hair pictures, I was like, look at little boy Joe. Look at you. Like,
It does age you up slightly.
Stuck in
he's
the
just
road.
what do they call it? Cutting his teeth on the podcast game. I'm just like, I'm just
Yes,
like,
when I was- yeah.
Now he's a seasoned Joe podcast.
Now I'm just like, whatever goes,
long
bro.
hair, don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, tank tops, flip flops, barbershop. What? Tank tops, flip flops, no barbershop.
Yeah, bro. Fucking build a booth, bro.
So Phil, continue.
So
Wait, so
Billy Fong is right.
So Bobby needs to make a theme song for each cast member. Is that what we're saying?
No,
No, we need to build a booth and we can make our own.
Chris does.
Well, dude, if you build a booth, we make our own.
yeah. I mean, I'm down. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Okay.
So Everything Everywhere All at Once, really good. The multiverse movie everyone should see.
Is this available on the streaming platform yet?
EAO.
Oh shit! I think it is by now. Yeah,
I'm not sure
that what
that's
it's on?
easier to say. EAO, everything,
What-
everywhere,
what-
all at once, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
EAO.
So what did you watch?
It's a
it on,
long ass
Phil?
name.
I saw it in the theater.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean,
Flex.
I didn't know.
that's why I'm not watching it yet because it's not streaming.
no, it's not.
I didn't know that it wasn't out yet.
Well, at least
like,
he didn't say theater.
I didn't know that it wasn't like
No,
streaming.
why? I didn't know if it was
just
going to
haven't
go
seen
wide
it.
release or not because it was first couple weeks and then finally went wide, so to speak.
It's only a matter of time.
So anyway, that movie is great. It's what's her name from no, I forget who the key grip is.
That's like the only Asian actress that's like recognizable in America, other than Lucy Liu. or some
Maggie
shit.
Q
Oh yeah, that
No,
too.
no, yeah, that too.
from mine.
The handful.
No, it's
No,
from
G4.
Olivia Munn.
Is she
Olivia-
Asian? All Asian? I don't know.
She's half Asian.
She's like
half
slightly vaguely Asian.
she's
I'm
vaguely
not really
Asian.
sure.
As Asian as another one I know, if you know what I'm saying.
Asian enough to be Psylocke, apparently.
But not Asian enough to be the major, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're not going down that.
Sorry,
Look,
sorry,
we're
sorry,
not
sorry.
opening up the
We're
show.
having a good
Sorry.
time, okay?
So I give that.
Adam, if you're listening, I understand both sides of the argument now.
Did you guys record watching that or no?
Yeah,
We did.
but yeah,
We watched
yeah,
both. Watched the anime
we
and
watched
then the live
anime
action.
and the live action, and then we had a conversation about it.
Okay, cool. I might hear that.
If you're on Patreon, you would know.
Yeah.
Right? Patreon, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's all right. He's broke. Like
Thoughts of
He spent all,
thirsty
yeah,
dog.
you spent all your money on OnlyFans, bro?
yeah, it's okay. Continue, Phil.
So, you had the little kid all grown up from back in the 80s from the Goonies.
Which one?
The Asian kid.
One Asian
okay.
kid. The one Asian kid.
And
bro.
he was also
he was
short-
Indiana
he was
Jones.
the shit though.
Yeah, he was also
was.
short round in Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
So that kid's
He
now
was
grown
short,
up.
but not round, though.
True.
That's true.
Nor his eyes were
he's
not round
grown
either.
up.
So confused.
More of an almond.
But I sorry, Joe, I can't remember his name.
I can't either. It's
prefer-
fine.
but,
Sorry, Joe.
Why me
All
specifically?
apologies
though?
must be made on behalf of the Asian community. Joe, I'd like to read it.
Hey, we're gonna need that written in triplicate, please.
I mean, if there's a racial draft, I don't think Asian people would take
And
me
then-
first. I think I'd be like drafted by white people first.
Yeah, well, that's because more white people love you than Asian people.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I can represent Asian people.
Why is there a draft for this? I'm so confused.
Because Chappelle got attacked.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
They tried to be
What's
attacked.
happening?
I put that
Remember
in
he
the
did a
notes,
racial
too.
draft?
Oh God.
Yeah.
You see how I tied it all together, dude?
RZA, the Jizz. Come on, man. They will take. Dude, Wu-Tang gets drafted before me, and that's fair.
Huh, that's interesting.
All right.
That's interesting. And it would be even more interesting if it was like China, Japan, and Korea that were
Yeah,
fighting.
specifically,
and
yes.
then Japan's like fighting for you because you're an anime.
Yes.
Into that, and then China's like, we're not letting them go because they're just Chinese.
I mean, no, let me go.
And they're like, never. First Hong Kong,
damn it.
now you're asking for the world, Joseph. Joseph, indeed.
Yes.
My favorite star in there was probably Jamie Lee Curtis, who I didn't know was going to be in there.
She was in. I have no
She
idea.
plays a IRS agent that this family is. They own a laundromat, which is stereotypical.
My parents own.
Whatever do you mean, Phil?
My mom had an old laundromat.
So,
And I've never heard of such
a thing.
so she is the IRS investigating them after she thinks they're in tax fraud, and she plays a role unlike anything I've ever seen her do, which is very interesting. So she's just basically coming after them. But anyway, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. Everybody should see it.
Okay.
I've been recommended a lot by like many different people.
That's twice for me in one day.
Yeah. So I it's probably a 9 out of 10 for
What's
me.
the name of it again, Phil?
Everything, everywhere, all at
Yeah.
once.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Is everything one word or two words?
It's one word.
I'm pretty sure
Everything is one word. Everywhere is one word. All at once.
That's a long ass 5 words.
That's why I
Yeah,
said.
it is.
That's why I said
you said EEOC or
EAO.
what's the one like workplace protection?
What is that?
OSHA.
OSHA. Occupational safety and
This
health.
motherfucker's watching ladder safety videos talking about it's the Matrix or something. What the fuck, Phil?
I saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I need.
with
Don't
Nick
spoil that
Cage.
for me. I
won't.
am so
won't.
looking forward to
So-
that. I need it as a stream.
I wanted to see this.
Yeah,
What's
when
it
Nick Cage
on?
plays it. I saw it in theater.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Nick
Phil.
Cage.
Do you have some sort of like rewards points or something for all these goddamn movie theater trips? Do you get popcorn half price or some shit?
I think that's
Technically,
normal.
yes.
I'll tell you what, he's a little stingy with his popcorn.
Bullshit. We'll get into that in the Doctor Strange conversation. You guys want to talk about that? We'll get into that in Doctor Strange.
I had to fight. I
This
reached over to get a little bit of popcorn out of his bag.
Little bit. This dude is crawling.
Oh my God.
This dude is crawling across my chest when he could just lean over and say, "Hey, can I have some popcorn?" First of all, when I walk over to the table before I ever go into the movie, I'm waiting for my other food because I haven't eaten all day. I got a popcorn and soda because that's where they could give me easily.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for my little mini pizza thing. And I go over to the table with them, and Bobby's like, "Oh, Phil brought everybody popcorn. And it's a regular popcorn.
It's a regular popcorn.
It's not like giant size or anything. I'm not.
No, it was
I'm overweight, but
mad-ass
I'm not
regular.
that big."
She was like a cup.
And,
What the fuck, Phil?
It was like I put my hand over into the bag of popcorn. I had to fight through his
It
fingers.
was like this for 45 minutes on that fucking movie.
So wait,
that was a separate.
That was a separate thing.
We'll get to that.
They might have been doing it on purpose at one point.
So that was
He was doing that on purpose.
Mr. Wine in the theater.
So by that point, I put my hand in the bag and I just started being obnoxious, like digging
There
my
was
hand,
almost
like, to
nothing
make
left.
a ton of noise around.
You know,
it.
I kept hearing. I was about to get up and say something. Whoever the loudmouth
Dude.
was.
I could not. I couldn't stop laughing.
So I had to fight through his fingers. Like he locked up around the popcorn, and I was like, come on, and now not for nothing. He came here tonight. He was like, first thing he came, Phil, would you like one of our tacos that we made tonight that we spent our hard-earned money on? He's like, oh, I'm really hungry. Okay, Phil, well, of course, have a taco. But I put my little modest, humble fingers.
Big sausage fingers, to be fair.
Don't ever say your fingers are modest or humble. You know where those things. Those dip beaters have been.
About those oven mitts of yours.
I dipped him into that bag, and his fingers locked up like a virgin on prom night, like trying to prevent me from.
I'm like watching the movie, and then I feel this thing crawling across my chest. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, you didn't even like, hey, let me get some popcorn.
I reach over and I feel like I'm this parent bringing the 6-year-old kid to the movies for the first time. It's Bobby. Laura,
It's true. It's true.
You ever take?
I was
leaned over and
just
said,
saying last week, don't buy that fucking $8 goddamn popcorn.
Yeah.
I was like, "Do you ever get out of the house?"
Yeah.
I balled out at the
He's
theater.
just laughing.
I ate dinner there.
Yeah.
That was a badass grilled cheese sandwich.
It looked good.
It was fucking
Grilled
great.
cheese sounds
It,
good.
it was called the Miggity Mac.
Yeah.
I had to say, can I get 2 Miggity Macs?
I hate when they make food names dumb, so you sound like an asshole when you
Because I'm
order.
the Miggity
like at
Mac.
Starbucks.
I try to circumvent it. I'd be like, can I have that grilled cheese? I can't make out the letters.
You know, I know he doesn't eat Mexican food, but Bobby would be the guy who's like, can I get this one right here?
We just had
Yeah, so I point, like at Cold Stone, bro. I point at things. I want this size ice cream. I don't fucking say it, like it, love it.
Yeah.
So I do that. I do that for one. But for two, there was just tacos upstairs that Phil had one.
and they were good.
I'm sure they were delicious.
How would it compare to the popcorn though?
God forbid, my poor starving stomach.
Dude, I said next time, if you let me know, I will buy you your own popcorn.
I don't want to share. That's
So
what it is.
here's the trick. Next time, just buy him one. Anyway.
Your only child, Phil.
Or buy the big one.
Technically, yes.
See?
But I didn't have all the Transformers you had.
Yeah, but
You didn't have all the beatings he had either.
Yeah, don't make it about me.
Hey, Phil, how was your nerd week?
Yeah, continue.
All right, so Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I end up giving that a 7.5 out of 10. It is good, and I'd say you should see it, but the way it wraps up was not everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't everything
I know the
everywhere I
feeling.
want.
Yeah, there's scenes in there that are definitely phenomenal because he's basically. I don't want to say
Because he's
too
playing
much.
himself. I get it.
But there's like
But
a
it's
second
not
version.
himself. That's the thing.
There's
I like
a
that-
second version of himself in his head. That's like
Oh,
just
so it's
talking-
like that other thing that had a finale.
So the
That's-
90s version of himself out of
Herman's
Face Off.
head.
Yeah.
Yes, I
He's
remember
like-
that show.
He's like
As
talking to himself.
Four of those motherfuckers. Well,
That shit was
one lady.
good.
It was the Inside Out movie from Disney.
Yes, that
it really
too.
was.
I have no idea what that is.
Herman's Head. It was on the Sunday night lineup on
Yeah,
Fox.
Fox.
in the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like
It's
there was
Herman, and it's like 4 people in his head.
dude. And
So it was animated.
No, it
no,
was live action.
no, it like cut to a set where these 4 like
in the brain?
personality traits were like in his head fighting over who got to control
How
Herman.
obscure that we all remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Except for him.
And then
That
speaking,
doesn't make me more American.
yeah,
Phil had ice skating lessons on Friday
he
nights.
was digging up dinosaur bones. Side note: Herman. It makes me think about Sherman from Bad Santa And Sherman's last name was Merman. And that motherfucker's name was Sherman Merman.
I'm bad. Poor bastard.
Dude, when Billy Bob Thornton figured that shit, he's like, your fucking name's Sherman Merman? What the fuck? Like,
That movie. It's fucked up, but it's great.
Continue, Phil. How was your nerd week?
He's never going to get through this nerd week, by the way.
We got to stretch this thing to 2 hours, Joe.
So, 2 Netflix documentaries. I know we all like documentaries. The Andy Warhol Diaries.
I've seen it up there. I haven't watched it. How is it?
It's interesting because I only
I fuck
know
with that dude.
vague little things about him. So it goes through and they have a guy who sounds a lot like him, do a lot of narration from
That could go either way.
Yeah.
from there. It's excerpts from his book that he wrote, and it goes through his relationships with some of the other artists and stuff in New York. It was I thought it was super interesting.
Does it have anything to do with
It
cults?
is kind of slow.
Well,
but-
kind of, because like he was a cult in and of himself.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
If it's
yeah.
culty, I'll watch it. If it's not culty, I'll pass.
Because like people like worship that dude.
yeah,
You know?
like he
Over some
talks
fucking
about
soup.
all over
he
some
talks
soup.
about the
But soup is good though.
It's not enough
Yeah.
to a cult.
You know how they said, "Let me serve you some soup," because soup is good food.
It's good
But
soup.
only when you're sick.
Chicken noodle.
You know that just anytime anybody has soup in my household, it's like, you're not feeling good?
Dude, what's funny is a saltine. I would never go near it. Like I
I
would
mess with soup.
Salted?
unless I had some chicken
Oh,
noodles.
okay.
Hey, who the fuck? What kind of monster eats oyster crackers without soup?
Are you kidding? They become a paste in your mouth.
Bobby
if you
raised
don't
his
have
hand.
soup.
Yeah, I kind of dig it though, man. I told you I celebrate the whole cereal kind of.
You are white fucking trash as they possibly can.
No, you know
try
what?
to
You know,
tell
what's,
y'all.
you know what's white trash when you want some cereal, but you don't have any. You don't have any milk, but you got vanilla ice cream.
Oh, dude.
So that cereal don't get soggy, and you get to eat ice cream.
Like my mom, like it's funny. My mom found a file on me today. She texted me and said, I found a file on you.
File? Well, like a computer file? Like in the computer?
No,
or?
so it's like my baptism paperwork from the Catholic Church and all that kind of shit. Like, and she was like, if you want, I'll send it to you. So this is interesting. Hold on, because this
I
is
figured that would have
How much-
spontaneously combusted
how much-
by now. But
You
How much
wanna-
regular conversation do you have with her?
very limited.
Yeah.
Except when she sends you random pictures of kids.
Yes. So that happened today after the file.
did you send back random pictures of kids?
So she sent me. So she sent me all of a sudden out of nowhere. She sent me a picture of my baptism paperwork. Right. Holy Catholic Church. Blah blah blah. I found a Bobby file. If you don't believe it, it's got my name written right there on it.
Oh, look
She knows
at
it's-
that.
so she-
Look
so
at
she-
that.
so she knows it's me. You know what I mean? In that file, this was in it, which was the baptism. Would you like me to send it to you? And I said, yes, please. And she said, I think you should have our divorce papers too.
What? Huh?
She's insane. You understand?
I mean, yes, but
You grew up with a lot of lies, which made me look bad. Address, please. The proof is in the documents. I could compete against money. My dad and his girlfriend blew our marriage. That's what she said. And I said, to be fair, I didn't grow up with a lot of lies. I'm just being honest. My dad never talked about you, the divorce, or your time together. Same for my grandma. The only bits I ever heard about it, still to this day, are you complaining about my dad and my grandma.
yeah.
And then she said, great. Then you won't be surprised.
Wow.
Then she said,
She's in her own world, right?
yeah. And then she said, you need to know the bullshit I went through. It doesn't take away the love they have for you, but it will give you a better understanding of what really took place. It's bad. And I said, hashtag send it.
There you go.
So I'll update everybody about that as it comes in.
It's going to be on Patreon. Probably.
Maybe,
He's gonna
maybe,
go through the
maybe we
paperwork
can
on Patreon.
all read it together.
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm down,
Hey, $40 Patreon. You crack open the Bobby file live on
So what's funny is I have a diary that I would be willing to read.
Wow.
Like, it's on page. Like I would be probably on Patreon. It's a diary my mom kept for like the first 5 years of my life. And I stole it out of her house when I left and took it. But I mean, she talks. I mean, this is nuts, and I'm a little bit buzzed, so pardon me. But like, she's like, "You wouldn't stop crying today. I had to beat you with the spoon again." Like it's that type of shit.
Holy
That's
man.
amazing.
What age?
Like, and I'm one. I'm less than one.
Holy shit.
And also in there, she's like, once again, less than one. I'm less than one. When they say how old is he, they're answering in months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not sure what's going on, little Bobby. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm getting close. Mm-hmm. Every time your father walks into the room, you smile and want him to hold you. You don't love me like you love him. I'll have to fix this. Like shit like that. Yeah.
Wow.
This sounds like the shit notes you find in like a horror video game.
Yeah. And at 30, when I found it, I was like, "You're right. I didn't. I loved him more." Damn. And now I don't know how I feel about either of you, but I loved him more then.
Oh, dude.
Things change.
Phil,
how was your nerd week?
Dude, I can't follow that. I mean, come on. Okay.
no, that's not an interruption story, Bobby. That's like
true.
the main event.
That's true. But it's
okay.
We got to share. I'm about sharing here. That's what makes the pod.
I talk to my mother,
I
so I
can't.
talk to my.
I don't get along with my folks either, but not on that level.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm getting along with her fine. She texted me, and then she sent me pictures of this kid I don't know.
Is it somewhat related to... I know she's been sending you random ass...
Is it like your step nephew or something?
That's what Selena's listening to right now.
Hard Knocks Life, bro.
Oh shit!
So Selena uses the AirPlay. She's listening to. Oh no, she's cycling through. This is interesting. So now she's on Jay-Z's "Can't Knock the Hustle." She was on Jay-Z's "Joker What Joker Who." She's not. Oh no, she didn't like that one. Now she's on "Run This Town" by Jay-Z.
How crazy is it that Mary J. Blige, he got her for his fucking independent debut album?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a story there about a very large cash payment.
Yeah. So and then she said, I said, I'll definitely look it over.
Yeah.
And then she said,
back on the
we'll
story
all
with
look
your
it over.
mom.
and then she said, anything from my shining light, and sent me a picture of this kid I don't know again.
Let me
Who is
see.
that?
That's
Who
her.
is
Hey,
that?
that's her shining light.
That's my niece.
Okay. Oh.
No, yeah, that is who she's talking about. Her shining light. That's my niece. I've never met her. I don't even know her name. But she loves pool time. That was the next test. She said, I just let that shit go.
Do you send her a random picture
No,
at the pool?
I was too traumatized by all the paperwork that I wasn't in the mood for jokes with her. And I'd already talked about the Adam thing. I've had a rough day, Joe. That's what I'm getting at.
Family problems.
Hey, Phil,
What's the
how was
second
your nerd?
documentary you watched?
Second documentary.
How was your nerd week, Phil?
So I recommend Andy
Every time
Warhol.
he says it, you got to drink, people. Start the podcast over.
So the second documentary from Netflix was Jimmy Savile, A British Horror Story.
Oh, I'm interested in watching that. I'm
absolutely
interested
need
in
to watch
watching that.
That's
I don't even know who that is.
So, give me a premise.
I'm sure nobody here knows who that is. Jimmy Savile. I did
presumptuous, isn't it?
hit Cody up about it, and he's like, "Yeah,
Because he's
Jimmy."
British?
No,
I
seriously.
have no
Because
idea what this is.
No, despite his young age and the fact that Savile started in the 70s, this guy has been known up through like 2011 when he finally passed away.
So
Jimmy Savile was
What's
a
he do?
BBC broadcaster, radio broadcaster, who eventually translated to television. He became like
it's like the
not Howard Stern as far as raunchy comedy,
Oh, I
but he
was gonna
became
say the
nationally known, nationally beloved by all the way up through the Royals.
Oh, okay.
They like would get him to. He became Knight.
A radio personality.
Yeah, he got Knight.
A media personality.
He's like
Okay, good.
he's like
Got
Bobby, just a bigger version of you.
damn, you see how he tried.
That's all he said when he was trying to get that popcorn, though.
One step up, two steps down. You know what I mean?
Hey man, I got to get my digs in somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta get your what in?
Yo,
There's a G on the end of that word.
I didn't. Questionable.
Anyway, continue.
So that's only a two-parter. The Andy Warhol thing, I think, is 4. But it basically goes through. This guy has been beloved and known by everybody in the UK. He basically lives kind of out of a traveling van, but goes around and is what they call a porter, what we would call an orderly, and helps disabled people at hospitals and children who are mentally handicapped. And all the while, there's rumors of him possibly having this thing for young people. But it's never substantiated, and he always refutes it. Like, you got no evidence of this is bullshit. And he's never been publicly married or with anybody for that long. So then, after he dies, finally, there's the beginning of social media has started to happen there. There's like a proto Facebook that's going on in the UK, and they get tons of victim emails that have finally like talking about his huge public funeral where all these dignitaries, tributaries, whatever, are like running his coffin through the streets and being this huge celebration like a celebrity died. And it turns out that he's been sexually abusing all different types of people, mostly kids, through the entire career. Every time he would go to the hospital, it was to his advantage to take advantage of either
my God.
mentally challenged.
It's like
I'm out. I don't want to watch this.
It's British Bill Cosby, but worse.
Yeah, I don't want to.
it's like
way
Bill Cosby.
worse. I don't want to. I don't want
to.
See, I don't want that shit in my digestive tract.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah, I don't want that shit.
And they don't show anything, but
but even
it's just
like thinking about that shit, it's like taking advantage of kids is
that's like
it's horrific.
I think
enough,
that's
right?
like the
taking
very
advantage footage of kids that are disabled,
hospitals.
It was
special place in hell, bro.
So he had like this huge gravestone carved out, and they had to, in the middle of the night, they had to take the gravestone down.
I'm surprised we would have just taken up a sledgehammer.
Well, that was about to happen, and they scheduled a time for it the next day, and the cemetery guys stayed up all night just to run in and rip it out because they knew shit was going to go down. If
they should have just let it. Why not just let it?
Did they get paid overtime?
Yeah, I mean, why protect the guy that took advantage of people that couldn't protect themselves?
Yeah, they're probably. I mean, honestly, logistically, they were probably because if people took that down, they'd take down a bunch more, and it'd just been a mess.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, okay.
So anyway,
thanks for that, Phil.
You watch Schindler's List too? While you're watching Schindler's List?
I went
Schindler's
to.
List like have a better ending, possibly.
Yeah,
some people were saved.
Well, but that dude died.
Everybody dies.
Animation wise, I saw Catwoman Hunted.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty good.
Okay.
It is technically an anime style animation, but the animation is good, and the
story
story
is called anime. Continue.
The story is just about her with no real Batman interference, which is cool. It was cool to see.
Yeah.
There's Batwoman does show up in it.
I would like to see a When in Rome or whatever. What was that one from that Catwoman?
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah,
cool,
that was a good story,
animation wise.
Yeah.
This was cool, but they threw a lot of characters in there, a lot of like. Lesser known DC villains, which was cool. It does animate it up a little bit here and there with some tropes, but I think it's worth a watch if you like Catwoman.
Copy that. I do like Catwoman.
Yeah. So I know the animation stuff isn't your favorite, but you should give it a try.
Copy that.
And then the only other thing probably is I got to go to the Pretty Reckless and Shinedown show that was in
I like Pretty Reckless.
Yeah, Pretty Reckless.
I saw them when they opened for Manson on a tour that I went and saw at the Fillmore. You want to hear a fucked up story?
Okay,
not fucked up in the same way like my mom, but like
what about Phil's story? That was pretty fucked up too.
Not anywhere near that.
Cool.
So you know, like you may have heard I'm a fan of what they call the drill scene, Joe.
Haven't heard of it. How many followers you got?
So, very few.
Bobby and Swerve, the two biggest Swerve.
But the guy that kind of filled Pop Smoke's shoes to a lesser extent is this guy Fabio Foreign, right? Okay. And I like him, and I've liked him since before Pop died. I've been a fan since before Pop died. He's coming to the Fillmore in a couple weeks.
Really?
And there's a part of me that's like, man, I should really
stand
go.
out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried about that. That's been my whole life, Joseph.
Because you're 20 years older than everybody now. That's why you'd stand out.
Well, that too. That I think it'd be two things. But I got a lot going on during that time, so I'm probably going to pass. But the fucked up thing is that like nobody else loves this music the way I do, except for Cody, who will be in town.
Oh, you should go with him.
You guys should go. I'll go if I'm available. I'll go.
What day is it?
And try not to just go.
I'd have to look again.
If I come to, it'll be a wild ass crew,
bro.
Dude, I think people would be more confused. I think it would make us
especially
safer
if you're just like this.
So
you know somebody's going to try to fight you. You know that, right?
I'll fight him.
And I'll be honest. I'm not really as worried about the potential violence because like. As far as I know, like
potential violence.
Because as far as I know, like at least in my day, I'm a bit removed from the scene, Christopher. But gangsters don't go to concerts.
Like, no, they don't. There's going to be a bunch.
No more.
I mean, let's be honest. It's going to be a lot of internet rap fans because I don't know who the hell else knows what drill music is.
It might be that like we fit in perfectly fine.
So anyway, I got
the day. I might be able to go as well.
I got to think about it. But yeah, interesting little side note. But I saw Pretty Reckless, who I do enjoy their music.
Did you hear? What do you think of their last album?
I haven't listened to their.
Okay, so the reason I really wanted to go was technically they opened for Shinedown, but I'm mainly there to see them. I like Shinedown too, but I'm.
Have you ever thought it after any of her picks? Because she's attractive in her own way.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, of course. No, after the show, I do follow her on Twitter because she posts like events and stuff. So I found out they're doing a second Baltimore show with Hailstorm. That's going to be a summer show, and so I sent out the message. I never heard a reply. I said, if you guys are coming to that, are you guys going to do a meet and greet? Because then I would consider coming to the show again, even though I just saw you, if they're doing a meet and greet.
Is Hailstorm one of those like...
Hailstorm's from PA. Lizzie Hale and her brother. She's a famous rock lady as well.
Are they one of those
Misery.
like Evan?
Yeah,
a little bit more, but they're a little harder than Evanescence. I like them a lot more than Evanescence.
But are they a little bit more also like
they have
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Whereas
they have some very naughty songs.
Bring in the amplified violin.
No.
And the choir.
No, her brother's the drummer.
Like what's the other one? What's the other one that's got the female lead? That's heavy.
Oh no! In this moment,
no, not in this moment. They're more metal.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about they're more gothic.
Oh shit. I think there's a couple.
Dixie Chicks.
No.
Paramore?
No, that's a little more emo.
Anyway,
so
I'm gonna look them up. I got a
Perry.
feeling. Yes. Well, I like Katy Perry song.
I do too.
She's like Katy Perry.
If Taylor and the Pretty Reckless were coming to and doing a meet and greet, I'd go to it just to get a chance to meet the band. Yeah, of course.
You know what?
I got to meet in this moment with Maria Brain. She was awesome.
I don't like paying to meet people.
So
I'm weird about it.
I'll tell you, I did it once to meet Slaughterhouse. I probably would never do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of wrestling events have that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I mean, every convention you go to, you can pay to meet a wrestler.
Yeah, I know.
Joe Button was dumb late.
Oh,
like Royce and Crooked.
Were they pissed?
And Joel, they're all sitting there. And like, you ever heard me say like the rainy day face? Mm-hmm. I got that from Joe Button that night. He strolled into that motherfucker probably 30 minutes late. People in line were pissed. And he's like, "Oh, a lot of rainy day faces. I don't know." Like, you know, and I took it because it did. It's funny because it did lighten the mood. People started laughing and shit. And like, if he would have came in and not said anything, it probably would have been a little bit more tense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue, Phil. How was your nerd week?
So, the Pretty Reckless was great. I was right up to the side of the stage, so I was pretty close.
Did you get sweat on?
No, not.
Unfortunately.
I almost got my eyebrows singed from the flames. So, Shinedown had flames later on in the show, and this is an indoor show, and you could feel the heat from it. So I don't know what those guys on stage were feeling.
Dude, I was in the upper levels of an arena and felt the fucking heat from the flames of Ramstein.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
They don't
fuck around.
That's the only show I've ever attended where I was like, let me get it on the exits real quick.
Yeah.
I have a funny story about concerts and
so
fires.
what is that the roughest show you think you've been to?
Roughest? No.
Okay.
It's the most theatrical.
Okay. I'm just curious. What's the roughest?
What do you mean roughest?
The roughest show I've ever been to is probably some local acts in Baltimore City.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay. Where it's a complete fist fight by the end of the night.
Okay,
I've been to a Slayer concert.
No shit. I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's a
at a very small venue. Actually, it was a club.
I didn't see him as smaller.
I saw him at a club.
Oh,
that's
wow.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Wow,
that's awesome.
And,
that's awesome.
Me and my brother-in-law went in Birmingham in probably
That's cool.
2015 or so.
Yeah.
The pit was brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like the whole place is a pit.
Well, that's what it is for Seven Dust. For Seven Dust, Ram's Head. Have we all been to Ram's Head downtown?
Yeah.
The entire area in between the bar and the stage, that entire area is a pit. You don't leave.
I saw it when I had the meet and greet. It was at Iguana Cantina in Baltimore.
Wow, I've heard of that place. I've never been there. That's super local.
It was a cool venue though, because it was like they got they have like 3 different rooms that are like all connected. It's kind of like the symbol for uranium or whatever. Like, in Back to the Future.
Yes.
It was like
yeah.
Like one room was Slaughterhouse. One room was like a DJ playing like electronic music.
Wow.
And then one room was like the bar. And it was but it was a big ass bar, so you could like go in there, and it wasn't like you felt like you were in line forever and ever. And this was in my younger years, Joe, and I was gone, long gone. And every time it got to be a little too intense, I was like, I gotta make it more intense. so I'd go into the techno room and just sit there next to the speaker.
And this is why we have to turn up everything for Bobby.
And then once I dialed it down a bit, I'm like, all right, let me go get back and get some Slaughterhouse. And I go back and get some Slaughterhouse.
That's cool, though.
I need it more intense. And I go back into the techno room.
So were they playing or are they just doing
It was DJing.
No.
Oh,
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, no, it was a performance. Yeah, they were there. That's
I
right.
thought they were just there for the. I thought they were.
No.
There.
Like the meet and
Bobby
greet
was just there for the techno.
Yeah, well, it turned out I spent a fair amount of room in there in techno because I felt like I was dancing on the rings of Saturn. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was
Did you wear the glow rings? Did you wear the glow rings, or did you just?
No. I smoked the glow rings.
Good times, man.
Yeah, I was sayonara.
So Phil, is that all?
How was your nerd week?
Yeah, this pretty much wraps it up.
Joe, you got your coffee first. Chris, how was your nerd week?
Wow, it's been so long.
Yeah, I ain't got shit anyway.
You
Go
guys
ahead.
got
I actually have some stuff.
I'm sure.
I do have some stuff. I went to see AEW in Baltimore.
Did you get sweat on?
Say again.
Did you get sweat on?
No, but I have some crazy stories from that. So it was. I'd never been to this place before. It is the
UMBC.
Yeah, it's a fucking basketball
exactly
gym.
where I
That's all
saw
it
it.
is.
That's why
I went to college there.
Yeah.
Oh, the University of Maryland, Maryland University College of Maryland, Maryland University College of Maryland.
No, I didn't go
University
to that one.
College.
But did you go to UMBC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went there for a year.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very
So
nice.
the arena stadium they have there.
It wasn't a good look for me, Joe.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's the exact place where I went to see.
So I mean, honestly, it's like
The Labradors.
Yes, the Labrador.
Yep.
We talked about that because Kelly was like, "Is that like a Labrador Retriever?"
So you know what they say. You know what they say it stands for, right?
I'm afraid to ask.
Do you know UMBC? Do you know?
No. Fuck no.
So if you ever go to the UMBC campus, I will tell you that I am the minority. Mm-hmm. So are you, Phil, and so are you, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Joe, however, you'd fit right in.
But instead of NBC, I went to Howard.
Okay.
Wait, I was the minority.
That's fucking hysterical.
Okay, I noticed what you're saying.
And
There was a lot of Asian people leaving while we were coming in. I'm like,
those are all the students.
what is happening?
So
here?
the joke is you must be Chinese is what it stands for.
Yes.
And then
my god, that doesn't make sense then.
So while I was there, they changed it. Like the faculty, like they made a statement, like we don't want to hear that anymore. And so this is the funniest shit ever. So the fucking faculty is like, we understand there's a phrase going around that represents what the school acronym stands for. We would ask you not to use that. We'd ask you to use what the school actually stands for, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. However, if you must say something derogative about the school that you're paying to go to, that's how it's all written, right? We'd prefer you say, you must be crazy.
wrote that?
Yeah.
On university letterhead.
Yep.
That's
amazing.
I don't even know that. Anyways, so I'd never been here before, and it's a high school gym with a mezzanine on it. Is what this place is.
Yeah.
It's not a huge place, but we get there. Parking is. It's always kind of up in the air. Like, it was free. You just parked in the student parking lot and walked in.
Yeah,
the line to get in was, it was insane.
Yeah, it was.
And I guess we technically cut in line, but because the main line was way off to the right, and we parked on the left. Well, here we come, and people are so confused about what to do.
It's not organized.
And finally, we just say fuck it, and we just walk.
Merged in.
Come to find out, there's 2 lanes you can go through, and none of these motherfuckers are going through. That's why the line was so fucking. Anyway, get in there. I have to piss because I'm a 45-year-old man. And I wanted to get a shirt. I'm a merch. I'm a merch whore for this stuff.
Concert was crazy.
So the merch line's bananas. Kelly stands in the merch line. I go to the bathroom. Come back. Kelly, we're just kind of talking. That's when we noticed they had like a the Labradors, whatever. She's like, is that a Labrador Retriever? I was like, I guess that's a weird ass thing to have for a mascot, but whatever. I went to a high school where our mascot was a fucking senator.
Yeah,
the fuck
a
is
generic
that?
senator.
It's just
senator.
It's just Palpatine's face.
It's a Senate.
I am the Senate.
They use that same generic.
That would be an awesome mascot, though.
They use that same generic, like Colonel Sanders looking dude that everybody that was the Cavaliers and the Patriots and the Rebels, everybody used. Anyways,
Looks like the Pringles man a little bit.
yeah, it's like the Pringles man.
Dude, if the Senate played the Rebels.
You had everybody in the Bible verse.
I'm on to something.
You're on. Never mind.
You're on something.
I'm on something.
So you're on the box wine.
Yeah, I'm on that box wine.
All right, so Kelly's like, I'm going to stand in this line when you go to the bathroom, and I had to go like find the bathroom. It wasn't where they weren't together. The men's was way far down. So I noticed these food lines. Everything's just fucking bananas. The lines are crazy.
Yeah.
So Kelly's in merch line. I come back. We're just kind of bullshitting, and she's like, kind of watches the guy like this. That guy had on a Skullface shirt. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, it was that one with his face that says truth.
What?
And I said, Kelly, you know that's like a real like well-known format, you know, like the Obama change, Darth Vader. I mean, she said, I know Bobby's shit, and that was Bobby's shit. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get out of line to chase him down right now. So we get up, buy some stuff. Which they never give you a bag at these things to put your shit. So here we just loose t-shirts. So they had like those little drawstring bags. You know, it was $10. I'm like, fuck, just buy that just to put the shit. So
that's how they get you.
And as soon as we get done, Kelly's like, we're gonna go find this dude. I know exactly what he looks like.
She's on a mission.
Determined.
All right, so we walk, and dude, apparently, she's like, he's got to be in one of these lines, and he couldn't have gotten far.
I love that girl.
So we get to one of the I think it was one of the food lines, like into the queue, you know, the actual part of the thing that's built up. And I said, "Hey, man," and I see the shirt, and it's this. I'll show you all the picture real quick. My man right there.
No shit.
So I say, "Hey, man, what's up with that shirt?" or something like that. I don't remember. He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Where'd you get that shirt?" He's like, "Oh, I ordered it. It's Bobby Skullface." I'm like, "You know about Bobby Skullface?" And he says, "Are you Chris?"
Amazing.
Yes, it's me.
That's fucking amazing.
That's
So
fantastic.
he's a listener.
Small world.
He's a listener to the
Nice.
show. He's sent in a question before, and says he listens all the time. So shout out to Dominic.
Yeah,
I never
dude.
saw you again after
Does he
that.
live
moment.
around here?
I'm assuming he's
Dude,
he's
hit
a
us up.
Baltimore
Come
guy.
through.
Yeah,
I thought it was
That's
someone
pretty
you
cool.
went with, and I was like,
No.
I wasn't sure
No.
what the picture was.
There's just like
a random chance.
It is crazy
That
though.
is
Like
crazy.
It
it's
is.
like because not that it's not a big number of people that knows,
But it's
you,
not.
But it's not a small number, but it's not a huge number. But the amount of times I've ran into people who like we mutually know you, or just like on stream was like, did I see you on Bobby Skullface channel before? I'm like, hello?
right.
It's so fucking random.
yeah. So we get to our seats, and we're on the third row. That just kind of shows you how close we were.
Pretty good view.
But right next to us, and I purposely bought these seats. It was a splurge thing. They were very expensive.
You
because they
got
were
diorama
aftermarket.
money. That's fine.
Yeah, you know how it goes. And I purposefully picked this seat because it was an aisle, and I'm a big motherfucker, right?
Yeah, you get extra room.
And there's a space because there's people sitting 90 degrees to us, right? The people that so they're there, and there's 10 feet between us. It's a big. Honestly, a lot of the time they do shenanigans outside of the ring. It's normally in a spot like that. And I'm like, well, fuck, that'd be pretty cool.
Right.
Well, first thing is, the way they film wrestling is normally always from, let's see, if you were coming out the entrance ramp, the hard cam, which is the cam is
I like the way it sounds.
It's going to be on the right.
Yep.
Okay. So I bought tickets to the right of the ring. Well, in the University of Maryland University of Maryland College University, their shit's backwards.
Oh shit!
Home of the
Damn.
Labradors.
Which if you watch the show, a lot of the guys, I mean, they
Don't piss them off because they'll go get something and bring it back.
so you're saying they don't lose a lot of games?
That's what
Bobby?
I'm talking about, man.
Anyway, so we're on so if you watch the show, if you look, I mean, like right above the ring post, you can see my big old fucking face. So,
Chris back there.
anyways, this empty section, they start putting some chairs there, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" He's like, "Oh, some of the Ravens players are going to come sit here." I'm like,
Oh, shit.
interesting. So I'm sitting there with my leg half cocked out, like I paid for, and these dudes are setting up chairs, and one of them it was a folding chair, a plastic folding chair. I guess he was trying to hold it, and it slipped, and it leaned against me and hit me, and I probably made a bigger deal about it than it really was. But I'm at a wrestling.
Be in court, motherfucker!
But I'm at a wrestling show. I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, man, what are y'all doing? He's like, oh, we're setting up these chairs, and they're literally putting them around. Says, hold on, I specifically paid for this seat because I'm a big motherfucker and I'm going to spread out. So you got to give me my room here. And they did. They offset the seats. And here comes, I'm going to be honest with you, 4 dudes that I guess are football players. No, it's 3 dudes that are football players and the coach. And I recognize the coach, John Harbaugh.
Wow, it's random that you recognize the coach but not the player.
Lex.
There was one big old country dude. He was like probably 2 or 3 inches taller than me, and I don't know.
You thought you were big.
He couldn't have gone through.
Guys came in.
He couldn't get through the door frames. He'd have to turn sideways. I mean, he was. I think somebody said he played nose guard.
You're like, all that aggression seems like a bad idea now, which I know the vibes because I had the same thing happen to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, exactly.
the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I went to fight that dude with the big beard. And I was like, ooh, bad idea, but we're gonna see it through.
So I mean, the show was great. It wasn't like the best episode of TV, but just overall, they film a lot of other stuff. They have 2 web shows they do that are on YouTube. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's kind of a big deal. I'm a premium member over there.
Of course, you're a premium member over there.
We had a really good time, and I knew at some point in time they were going to have them motherfuckers on TV because that's why they were there.
So did you just time it out to get Harbaugh shot in the face?
There's a screenshot.
Oh, he showed me.
They've got their camera guys that kind of stand in the same place, and then they've got their guys that kind of wander around. Well, one of the guys is just constantly filming the crowd, and my thought is, if something awful happens or if they have a bad something, they need to not show. They can cut to somebody in the crowd, but it's almost always facing the same direction. And I watched a little bit of it, and there's this couple that's on there. All the fuck, I don't know who they are. So it turns out Harbaugh, the coach, is involved with an angle in the storyline. I'm not going to get involved with it, but that's why. And they had the camera on him for it seemed like 5 minutes, just
just at his face.
Yeah, just right, shooting right at his face. And I knew where I was. So I was back. I was mean mugging. I was just doing all sorts of shit. I didn't know.
The pick you got is great.
Yeah. So
can I use this for promotional stuff for the next week stuff? Like put as a banner?
Yeah, let me take an actual screen cap and not or if you want to use it, it's like a picture of somebody's TV or something.
All right.
Hilarious.
But that was great to see that. And
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. We dipped out. Just a couple matches were left that I was like, all things considered, I've seen what I want to see just because I knew it was going to be a nightmare to get out of there.
Yeah.
I pulled the super old man move and was like, let's talk about leaving before we get there.
Oh, the 7th inning dip.
It was probably more like,
dude, let me tell you something.
8 and 2 pitches or 9 and 2 pitches.
My dad was 40 years old when he had me.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a baseball family.
Yep.
I've never seen the 9th inning of a baseball.
7th inning stretch, you're gone, right?
We're gone. He did not fuck around. He was out.
I mean, it's smart because
It
that's
is.
fucking traffic. Out
It
of
is,
bro.
But let me tell you, this sounds crazy, and it's certainly not a. But I've been to more baseball games in person than I care to admit. I grew up in a baseball family. And I've never seen the end of one. And my favorite 2 teams used to be the Orioles and the Athletics, the A's, right? Athletics. I know, a bit much in it. A little. we were. Why'd you have a little slice of humble pie, Athletics?
Hey, we were Oakland A's fans growing up because it
was Jose Canseco. He was this fucking star.
I got it though, man. The AA team was in Huntsville. So Canseco, McGuire, Steinbach, Rick, they all came through there. And every year they'd come back and play a game against the Stars, which they always lost, of course.
Right.
But they'd be there, and this was the 80s, and they'd sign balls for you and bats and just whatever.
So that would be the game I would get excited about, right?
Yeah.
If it was the Yankees and the Athletics, if there was anything involving those two and my Orioles, and we never got to stay to the end.
If it's at the end of a game.
Dude, this episode is really teaching me I may have had a sad life, Joe.
Might have been.
Would you like popcorn?
Yeah.
He said a popcorn.
Yeah.
You want a popcorn?
Give me one kernel. One of them half pop ones. Which have their own charm.
Dude,
one of those ones where you bite in and it kind of pops the rest of it a little bit.
But it gets real stuck in your teeth, though.
Yeah, that is true. I'm sorry, Chris. How's your week? I'm changing the title of this episode.
So we got a new toilet.
Oh, shit.
Which bathroom?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. We replaced all 3 of the toilets now in the past couple years. They make taller toilets, guys. I don't know if you know that. It's like
dude, don't change the basement one because it's the one I use. I don't need my fucking feet to be dangling like a child while I'm taking a fucking piss. Because I sit down to piss. I hate it.
So that's crazy. But on the other hand, toilets that sit awkwardly high are ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. He's ordering higher seat toilet
Hey, Chris,
seats.
just so you know, you're not the only one who stands to wipe.
It's dude.
Nope, don't want to do that.
But look,
I pulled my hand back.
Dude, toilet. There's a fucking thing about when I was a kid. It's like, why do you need new toilets? But like as I grew up, I understand there's a lot of badly designed toilets. The shit that the water's too high. Like as you get older, your balls up, or when you go to wipe.
I never had water that high, or maybe you just got low ass balls.
No, I worry about it.
You're gonna look like Sherry Lewis and Lamb chopping them legs. It's gonna be swinging back and forth.
But I have had the splash.
Yes, the splash.
The splash is that's not fun.
Or like you go down to wipe, and then you might touch a little water. And it's like you don't need that.
You know how you avoid that? You just stand to wipe.
High.
That's
You
right.
wipe, you don't have
That's
that
right.
problem.
I don't ever worry. There's only one reason I ever worry about how deep the water is, and we won't talk about that with the
So I'll tell you, I
mixed company.
only want to or not mix.
Oh
I only
my
wait,
God.
So the only thing that
Bob was making super shapes with his hands.
that I want to add to this toilet conversation is that here's something I like. So I'm a fold and hold when it comes to wiping, right?
Just get it done and run. That's mine. I ain't got no
method.
got no grand plan.
So I got to fold and hold. So as I make one pass, I can fold on top. And I can make a second pass.
Oh, no.
Now,
Yeah.
if I'm on the first pass, if I haven't folded properly and a little bit of that motherfucker touches the toilet water, abandon the whole fold.
That's why I ball mine
Start
up.
over.
That's how you ball it up and you just reach in there.
Oh, you're crumpling swipe.
I'm
Just get it done.
No,
Just
the
get it
toilet
done.
seat height
Get it
and the
out.
water height. When there's like not enough water in there, you take a fucking big dump and it's just hanging out, and then fucking
Dude,
smells.
you're still
and then when you flush, it's just a fucking street mark because it doesn't fucking.
Hey, that's like the ones in Europe that have no water in them.
No, fuck that.
And the water comes up and takes it away when you flush.
No,
Well, you're sitting there and you
no.
and you just dump and you feel
Creamy dolphins.
You feel the heat from your own dump.
No,
Because it's still
that is abomination.
That's like a porta
it's
potty.
European.
All right. Hold on.
That's like a
Let's
porta
cleanse,
potty.
let's cleanse the palate.
Okay.
Continue with your toilet.
So we
Chris, how was your nerve week?
It was fantastic.
Let's flush and try again.
So are they all really fucking tall now? Even the basement
they're,
one?
They're called chair height. So yeah, they're all tall.
Get a squatty potty for me.
My kids still use them. You can just sit
Poor
on.
Charlie.
Oh, he's fine with it.
Oh, you know what you should hit him with?
What's that?
Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie. Wah, wah, wah.
He gets that all the time.
I have sat on toilet seats where my my heels can't touch the floor. I hate it.
Well, listen, I've got this little stool.
I'm not tall, man. Right? I'm not short, but I'm not tall.
I got this little stool that Charlie used to use when he needed to get a cup, but he doesn't need anymore. I was going to throw it away, but do you
I
mean
will
to keep it
bring
in
my
case
own
you come
squatty
over?
potty. How about that?
Please don't do that. Please, we'll find something. I'll stack foam up for you.
Just get paint
I don't
cans.
want you
Old
to
paint
FOMO.
cans. Just two old paint cans.
There's gonna be some 2-inch cut with a.
Nah, I'm gonna give this motherfucker 2 fucking spray paint cans and tell him to figure it out.
Joe written like spray painted on the side.
That's right.
And I don't want no fucking water saving toilet. All right, like
Yeah, it's a bit much.
we're not in that much of a drought.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's
listen,
an ocean.
I need a flush.
Like, very close.
I've got a movie script waiting to get wrote. It's about.
Wait, did you say I got a movie script?
Dude, that was Bama as fuck.
It was. Because listen here, it's a big old country boy who can't get a replacement toilet that flushes well enough, so he has to go to Canada and get the right kind of toilet and smuggle it back over. It's just waiting to get wrote.
Did they make him out of adamantium?
He's from a small town. He's going up to the big white north to get himself a nice big old toilet.
He never thought he'd fall in love with an Eskimo woman. But look who had the toilet for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, saying that to say we took the old toilet to the dump along with a load of
No, you didn't just say that.
we did.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
We took the toilet to the dump.
No, you didn't.
I'm sorry, the Carroll County landfill. Which, if you ever want to laugh, there's some really hilarious reviews about their lunch menu on Google.
We should
Carroll
do that.
County landfill has a lunch menu?
No, but people,
What the fuck?
it's obviously a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, free smells and stuff like that.
So you replace your own toilet? You didn't get a dude to do it for you? You got money, bro.
I got my wife did it. Bro.
I know, but you got money.
Yeah, you got to misfix it at home.
bro.
But
I'm
still,
blessed.
it's so much work, and then you got to take the toilet to the dump.
It's dumb.
And also,
because I had to go to the dump anyways. For
if you want to know what Mrs. Pinkerton looks like, just pull up Apple Music and look for Tracy Thorn.
dude, I showed her that. She's
Yeah,
like,
it's
"What's
crazy.
That's her in high school, bro." Some random
Apple
ass.
Music.
Also, if you want to know what Pinkerton, you want to know
Man,
what
no
Frosted-
Patreon, no Apple Music. Just take your bum ass out, go sit in the front porch.
Hey. Everything I've asked for Patreon, I offer to pay you money.
And I've always given for free.
You
Unlike
have-
unlike your popcorn, but you wanted to charge me for
Hey,
it.
I still pay
I
$1.69
didn't
a
say I wanted
month.
to charge you for it. I was going to get you your own.
He put his fingers over the popcorn and opened his pocket up with his other hand.
Oh my god.
And if you want to know what Frosted looks like, watch a fucking Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
for
is your
real.
whole family
wanna-
just like
I don't know.
You're multifaceted.
Your whole family's famous.
So we went to the Carroll County landfill, and then we went to. I had been there once before, but I didn't really have a lot of time to browse. We went to Eternity of Dreams, which is this. It's a toy. It's a vintage toy store. It has some
Like
modern stuff too.
Where is it? Near you?
It's. I'm going to tell you all about it, Phil.
Sit tight,
I'm
Chuck.
not trying to
can't wait,
dox
bro.
you, but,
No, it's fine. Listen, my address is on every fucking box that goes out.
I know.
They come get it if you think you can take it. I'll call Joe. All I make is one phone call.
And Joe's
Joe's
arsenal.
All disappear
By tomorrow.
All those guns is borrowed.
I don't feel sorrow, Phil. So actually,
Your man passed the gat to me.
hey Phil, what's beef?
Phil doesn't know what the fuck beef is.
No. Your mom's ain't safe up in the street.
Hell no.
All right. I see you. Oh, that's good shit. Eternity of Dreams. It's in the Westminster Mall in Westminster, Maryland, about 30 minutes away from where I live.
Okay.
So
it's a good spot.
It is. So they originally started out like, I think they were basically in their garage at their house up in, I'm going to say it wrong because I've heard it 12 ways. Tiny Tawny Town. I don't know how you fucking say it.
What the fuck is that?
How do you say it, Bobby?
It's Tawny Town.
And it's apparently,
Okay, Tiny Tony Town.
so
Is that where the Lollipop Kids live? Tiny Tony Town?
I don't even
Or is
know.
Tiny Toons?
No, it's a
Tawny
place.
Town.
It's on the map.
Yeah,
Check it out.
it's like the northern end between Frederick and Carroll County.
It's a little dying town.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
I mean, so the Eternity of Dreams had done basically like a holiday pop up store at this mall, and I happened to go in there. And, I've spoken several times with the guy who's the guest, the owner. Anyways, the FYE that was in there closed because it's a mall and FYE went out of business. They took over that whole fucking place. And I'll tell you, that is
That's a great nerd mall now.
It
Because
is
they got the game shop.
There's that. Yeah, that's all. There's
really?
There's a game stop that's loaded to the gills with collectibles.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
one of those
that
and
there's
40K
the
stuff.
The 40K
Oh, I'm gonna
store,
have to go
and then
there.
so this is. I give the guy a lot of credit. This is the most. I'm gonna use a word here, Bobby, and
Talk to me.
You might not like it, but
No,
it's fucking
give it to
true.
me.
It's the best curated vintage toy store I've ever been in.
I love to hear it.
I mean, they've got
I gotta go to this place.
sections like. They probably have 16 feet of Ninja Turtle shit.
No shit.
Yeah,
You can find some Simpson shit there.
Do they have?
They didn't have anything.
Do they
on
have
there.
Dino Riders?
Because they
Phil, I
curated. That's
didn't
what
look.
Simpsons.
I didn't look for Dino Riders, but I mean, they buy collections all over the place.
Okay.
And if you're into Masters of the Universe in any vintage,
I'm gonna have to go look.
they
So it's not like the
Because
average.
Eternia.
exactly. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Like he's got Eternia there.
So it's not like the average
playset.
used toy store where it's like a fucking junk pile.
No, I mean
It's like-
everything. I don't even think there was anything just like bucket of loose figures to dig. Like,
We have
everything's
a
bagged.
lot of like toys and comic book
Oh, yeah.
shops. And I wonder
Yeah.
if we should
pretty
try
good.
to get into some tours for the area
Dude,
to
there's
put on the
a
nerd.
lot
You know what
of
I mean?
places.
Like,
I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and we still got to go to fucking Pizza John's.
I
want
still
to say
haven't been
like
there.
June.
I mean, I don't know what that is,
June.
but I'm down for
You said
pizza.
the day.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
My juice
talked
trash,
about-
by the way. We'll talk later.
I'd be interested in doing that if I can
I
make
mean,
it.
anytime pizza's involved, just
Yeah, yeah, same
assume
here,
I'm going to
same.
be there.
All right, continue.
I was thinking about maybe you taking some people there.
Yeah.
Sometime soon.
We
You know,
haven't
I
sent
just-
any more pizza.
Huh?
We haven't been sent any more pizza.
No, we're not talking about pizza. Oh, but you're just randomly saying send
Yes.
us pizza. Okay, great. Yeah, please don't freeze it yourself and send it though. That might be weird.
Or do.
I don't know, man.
Bobby's down.
Doug Benson said he's got a freezer full of edibles he's afraid to touch. So
Between my oven and Joe's pizza oven, we'll
my bread oven. I used it this morning for Pop Tarts.
we need to set up an Amazon
I have
link
one of
again
those
for
too.
stuff like bread
I know.
ovens.
I have one of those too. I have a toaster.
Everybody does. It's just goddamn
Hang on.
motherfucking.
I just don't have a toaster
Everybody
anymore.
cult motherfuckers.
Hold on. Phil, tell me about your toaster oven. How long have you had the toaster oven you have now? And
Okay.
did you buy it or did you inherit it?
I bought it,
This motherfucker.
but it is old.
Is it?
Because they don't
is it-
die. They
Did
last forever.
you buy a used one?
No, I think I got it at Walmart. I think I got it at Walmart.
Is
at
it
one point.
Emerson brand? Think it
I
or
can't-
Sun
I can't
or
remember.
Sunbeam?
It
Black
might-
and Decker?
It's probably one of those. I can't honestly remember.
Oh my god!
But I don't have a toaster. I have one of those.
Yep.
Wow.
I love pizza is really cool in that
Yeah.
thing.
Only
Or
fucking
bagels get nice and crispy.
Only air fried Colts shit on those.
Bagels get nice and crispy. Continue, Chris.
How was your Nerd week?
Well, guys, I'll tell you, I actually watched a couple shows on HBO.
Did you go all the way through a Black Lotus? Because I haven't yet.
Yeah,
I finished half of
It was
it.
good.
keep up, Phil. Come on.
Hey man,
That was two weeks ago. That was 2 weeks
I did
ago.
enjoy that. I did enjoy that. I watched. I'm up to date on We Own This City.
okay. So I haven't watched any of those yet. I heard it's good. So
That second episode. No,
Pretty good.
okay.
so
Pretty.
Is it-
Hang on a second. I have a question because I want to make sure that I have something right. The guy who's the younger, thinner of the detectives in episode 2, he was in The Wire, correct? He was like the drug kingpin kind of towards the end.
Oh, yeah, the
guy with
the newly promoted detective.
Yeah,
it seems like.
yeah,
Yes,
the
yes,
younger
yes, yes,
glasses
yes.
over.
He was one of the bosses.
that seems to be really good at his job.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Phil. You had 22 questions you wanted to ask.
no, I remember you guys talking about the first episode at least, and you mentioned that it might lean into the Baltimoreisms too much. Does it continue to do that?
I think it only leans into it for people that are from here.
Okay, because we're so used to it.
Yeah, but I think that everybody else will be like, "Oh, do they eat that there? Is that?
Yeah, 'cause-
is that
Obey?
honey, Trudy,
I spent $46 on these crabs. I was like, that's Bobby. These crabs are small.
that shit was funny.
No, they're
He's
mediums.
like, I can only afford mediums.
I gotta watch that show. Shit.
Dude, when he said I could only afford mediums, I was like, "Oh, that poor bastard."
How's Barenthal
I was like,
on
"No
that
wonder
show?
he joined this fucking corrupt
Yeah,
ass
that's
team."
who says that.
Oh god!
So,
he's an awesome actor,
mean,
man.
Yeah, he's great.
I obviously there's some embellishment on what how this was, but I mean this it's just a fucking tornado of corruption.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it
gotta be
came from
wild.
the top.
The thing that I found, well, that's what I love about the writers of
fucking
this.
numbers for the mayor.
The same
That's all
with
it is.
with The Wire, which you did not watch, correct?
I don't want it.
What's spectacular about The Wire is how they show, and I'm talking to everybody else in America who's seen it, Joe, but is how they show like the streets, the educational system, the political system, and the police system are all symbiotic.
Yeah.
They can't exist without one another. And Baltimore has built a whole political system around the drug trade now, where if you remove it, you end up fucking the kids out of a decent, whatever you want to define as decent education within the school system. Like that's how fucked it's got. And like that's what I love even about this show is they tie in these political elements where it's like, look, the mayor is saying just lock everybody up. So the cops, like, and obviously there's this is dramatic, et cetera, but it's based on some truths you would imagine.
Yeah.
So they're going to like hot blocks, and just if you're outside, you're going downtown. That's the end of you. You're locked up, and the reason for it is if you take guys that they presume are criminals, off the streets and the bodies don't stack up that night, the murders go down, the mayor approval rating goes up.
Yeah.
But you've locked people up on some Minority Report shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
So,
Dude.
Welcome to Baltimore.
pause it, Bobby.
So,
I'm sorry. I don't know what. Hang on a second.
okay. All right.
All right, we'll pick up because we don't make much edits here.
No. It's much work.
No.
Chris, how was your nerd week?
It was great. So that show I'm really enjoying.
It's great. It is great.
It is good. And the accents they're all over the place.
They are.
You'll hear
That's my biggest
92Q in the background every once in a
long as
while.
it's
It's
water, I'm
not. It's
for
not
good.
too legitimate with
But
the
it's
accent.
almost like
might be
Barenthal's
the
doing a
closest they could-
southern accent.
Yes, well, so that's the problem. Is like if in the Wire
that Punisher drawl kind of.
in the Wire they got a little too New York. And in this one, maybe they're getting a little too
Southern.
North Carolina, but like there are people, specifically the Punisher, but there are a few others that are trying.
Yeah.
Like you can hear it because the truth is, and I said this on that other episode, it's about dialects more than it is about like
the long
so that's the thing.
Yeah.
I have I'm more of a to-do crew guy, but there are the Hun, Bun, Ron, like there is that too. Like but
totally
they're all within the
Essex
same
or-
town. And South.
What was his? What was his training officer? Fucking. What was that?
Which part?
Well, he was like this
so he's
very urban white guy.
I
don't know how else to say that right now.
Yeah. I think you just said it.
I think
that's
that
what-
might be the
An
title of the
urban
show
white guy.
tonight. It's an urban cowboy. It's an urban white guy.
Yeah, I think you said what it is, but I kind of dug that.
No, I thought it was fine.
That's an
but
element
it was-
too, and like if you go to like South Baltimore, you go to Brooklyn, there's where there's some overlap, lands down, you'll find that individual, and it's not even it's not even seen that way. It's just this is the dialect of the town, So I don't know. I think it might be hard for me to see from the inside out, but I think it'll be seamless from the outside in.
Okay.
Gotcha. The last thing I watched was Winning Time, I believe is the name of this Lakers show. On
Yes,
HBO.
John C. Reilly.
Oh, continues to just be phenomenal, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to get in.
Sally Fields.
I'm
going
going
to
to wait till it's done.
Sally Fields in it.
I'm going to wait till it's
you're
done,
gonna
and
do
then, and then I give you my word. I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
Because I don't think I'm connected enough to it where I could go week by week.
That makes sense.
But I think I'll find it interesting enough where I could watch, day by day.
Yeah.
I could
Multiple episodes.
Have they said how many episodes We Own the City is going to be?
6.
I didn't
Six.
ask.
It's a
so-
six-part series. It says it's. I just saw it. It says 6-part
Gotcha.
series.
Okay.
And for those that know, people often credit The Wire, and The Wire is great. I love The Wire. However, the predecessor to The Wire is a show called The Corner.
I want to see that symbol. You have a hard copy of that, no doubt.
It's fantastic. I have the
I would
book.
imagine it's on HBO.
The book.
Is it on HBO Max?
It's based on the book. I have the book and the DVD.
Is it on HBO Max?
I would imagine.
Jinxie.
Yeah, I would imagine, but I don't know for sure. But that shit is based on a true story too. The Wire is the only one that's fictional, right? The Corner and this one are based on true events. The Corner, and I've said this before, I'll just do a quick overview of it. The guy that wrote all this shit that worked for Homicide, Life in the Streets, or whatever before this, he used to work in real life for the Sun.
Is that David Simon?
Yes, he worked for the Baltimore Sun. And
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
and one of the things that happened was they sent people to this house in West Baltimore to stay there for a year. They paid the people to allow them to stay in their house, and they documented this family, the McCullough family. There's a McCullough Street. The McCulloughs are it's a family in Baltimore, and there's a number of these folks. If you really look at Maryland, Maryland's like a big small town, and like if you look, there's like Dorseys, and there's like you keep seeing these same names over and over and over again. But like the McCulloughs, they stay with them for a year. They document them for the course of the year. And the main character is probably the son. The son is a drug dealer. The father is a drug user. The mother is a drug user. The mother and father are split. The father is really fascinating because he's a drug user like heroin. Like he's in the lifestyle. Like he's committed.
He's an enthusiast.
But he also has a code of conduct. Like he won't steal. He won't like there's certain things he won't do. In fact, he comes up with this idea to steal cars. I know I just said he don't steal, but give me a minute. He comes up with this idea to steal cars, but he talks to the car owner. And he's like, look, your car's been sitting on cinder blocks for like the past year and a half. I know because I live in on this street. What about if I made this car go away? You file the insurance claim and you split the, you know what I mean? And like,
that's not stealing. That's like fraud.
It's cons.
Yeah, cons.
Basically,
Yeah.
right? So like, and they'd be like, cool. And he could live with that.
Yeah.
He would take, let's say that he got $200 of it. He would take $150 towards dope. The other $50, he would like go see Schindler's List and go buy, and that's not me just bringing up Schindler's List because I think it's ironic. But he actually did go watch Schindler's List. And buy vitamins and all this other stuff, like to try to keep himself somewhat balanced and all this stuff.
That is wild.
Wow.
And the truth of it is, he used to be a security guard at Social Security where I worked.
Whoa.
His wife was like a party girl. The Social Security job was a good job. Got them out of the city, moved them to the county. She was bored in the county, started throwing parties, started doing drugs, got him hooked on drugs, ruined the whole fucking family.
Just because people are bored.
Then you track the son, this dude Andre. He's got 4 or 5 close friends. They're all selling drugs together. And then just within the course of 1 year, 365 days, without spoilers, some are gone, some are locked up, some are dead, some are complete addicts, and I think one makes it out.
Wow.
You know, and it's
That's rough.
It's in the book when you read it. They'll have like he writes the story like, and then so and so said this, and then so and so responded this way, and and then the next chapter will be like a sociological breakdown of what's going on. So they'll be like, look, like this is what's being said, but this is what is actually meant, and you know, little shit like DeAndre gets his girl pregnant, right? She wants to get an abortion, so she goes to the abortion clinic. They're like, it's $50. Now in the next chapter, they'll be like, actually getting pregnant is a rite of passage to womanhood and blah, 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 like, you know, like this is all the thing. So she hits DeAndre up and she's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, what do you want to do? She's like, well, I guess abort it. You're not going to be a father. I guess abort it. And he's like, okay, how much is the abortion? $100.
She's
like,
working him.
And he's like, hold on. Calls his mom. She's pregnant. Well, what are you going to do, DeAndre? You're not ready for a kid. I know. The abortion's $200 though. You know, and it just goes on and on and on. You know, little shit like that. But it's just, you know, it's like this little time capsule of a year's time about humanity in Baltimore City. You know, it's powerful.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't get the fanfare that The Wire gets. You know, which The Wire deserves.
How many years before The Wire did that come out? Was it like right before, or is it?
No. 5.
And that was a mini series.
6 episodes.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, continue. How was your
So
week?
the Lakers show, yeah, that it dealt with some pretty serious drug shit. You know, I think they said like in the late 70s, early 80s, that 80% of the NBA was using cocaine, and 20% of them had a problem, and there was a guy on their team that had a problem.
I'm going to clutch my pearls in just 2 seconds.
You should, and that's really it for me. It's a long week we had.
Yosef.
So, you know, like when I'm at work, I'm in charge most of the time.
Dude.
Oh, give it to us. Give it to us.
And I won't say I take advantage of it, but I use my authority to my full capabilities.
Dude, I love this.
So you're a good delegator?
You're a tyrant.
You're a good delegator?
I know. No. I'm actually, no, actually my employee is good. Like I pull my weight. Like I try to like at my lunch, like for people all the time.
You're like, Johnny, dismiss the boys to lunch. And here, take this piece of cheese.
So on Wednesday it was
protein powder's not lunch, Joe.
I mean, for me it is.
That's true. Unfortunately.
Unless on Friday. Fridays I eat whatever the fuck I want. So today's a good day. So Wednesday was May the 4th. So I had the boys like, I forgot shit. Put on Rogue One, and by the time we finish episode 6, it'll be time to go home.
Oh, you
Yeah, so we had Rogue One,
Nice.
episode 4, 5, 6
Nice.
on in the
That's
background
awesome.
the whole day at work.
That's
It was
cool,
good
though.
to feel. And
That is cool.
Yeah, and it was, like I said, like, it's not abuse of powers. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
no, I treat my co-workers very well.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Anybody have any thoughts about the May the 4th reveals?
No, Obi-Wan trailer?
No, toys,
Oh, okay.
toys, statues.
I mean, nothing that was
Lackluster. The Black Series stuff, we got 3 figures pretty much. Leia, the Old Republic or the New Republic drone, and the fucking the band member. Have you looked at his hands? They look like little dicks, bro. Like his fingers look like 5 little dicks.
Oh, that's for something from Everything Everywhere All at Once as well.
No,
One of the multiverses, people have hot dogs for hands.
Well, let me tell you something.
It's
This guy
fucking
has
great.
this guy. Yeah,
It's true.
Sausages, but this guy has dicks for hands. They are
like Edward
Like in
Scissorhands.
one of them anime hentais.
Dude,
No,
it's
Edward
like yes.
Scissorhands was the porn ripoff of Edward
Like-
Scissorhands.
Anybody out there? Oh my god! Google the Cantina band. The fingers, or it's
Bobby keep making his hands,
it's
man.
5 dicks.
Look up Everything Everywhere All at Once. The hot dog fingers.
Do not look that up. Just
Yeah,
look at
it's-
these dick fingers.
It's hilarious.
Like there's little heads. It looks like straight up dicks.
on the digit. It helps you play the instrument better, I think.
You would think not, but
It covers the whole wall.
They're calluses.
Okay, that's
They're
a fair point.
calluses.
So
They
to
built
speak.
up from playing for years.
that's a fair
Dude,
point.
that sound effect is so hilarious.
So then for Hot Toys, we got a battle droid,
Yeah,
an R2D2 that is badass.
but it's still
Correct.
I mean, I'm
Correct.
not gonna.
I'm
buy
with you.
another.
I'm with
Are
you.
you gonna buy it?
No.
Okay.
Clones. And a fucking episode 2 3PO.
Why?
Are you for real?
But we haven't gotten an episode 4 3PO.
Or any 3PO that people actually want, the classic 3PO. Like it made me want to fucking just throw the whole collection away. Nothing from Iron Studios.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Iron
Not
Studios did
Star
their own
Wars.
thing. Yeah,
not Star
for-
Wars.
No,
Yeah.
it's true.
A new Vader Black Series helmet. I know.
A new Vader Black Series helmet. There was some TVC stuff, vintage collection stuff. But most of that was fucking clones and Mandos. And then I want to say that Sideshow may have had a statue, but I may be wrong about that. It was lackluster this year. Your celebration at your job sounds better.
Well, because the night before, I watched Rogue One too the night before for movie night. Cause
It is a good one,
It's
right?
like Asian month or some shit like that. So we're watching all movies with Asian roles.
Okay.
I think next week we're watching.
Donnie Yen was great in that.
I like them both.
Exactly.
Rogue
They're
That's-
both
that's
great
one.
in that.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna say your hot dog fingers are irrelevant because those are fucking dicks.
Those are
Those are dicks.
those are
They're ribs.
I've seen those in my Japanese animes.
Wow.
But
Rogue One is amazing. It's great.
great, right?
And I don't like. You know how they always say that, like the last thing you say or do or hear is the most lasting impression. That's why you give the compliment sandwich or whatever. And like when you meet people, like the last thing you say matters. So like I don't know if it's that, since Rogue One's the last thing I watched like full on attention, but like I don't. It's up there.
It's great.
It may not
It's
be the
great.
best Star Wars, but it might be the best Star Wars.
I think it's in it. Like for me,
It's
I think
really
it's
good.
I think it's in my
It's-
top 5.
it's
Yeah,
really
like probably my top
So
3.
So for me, I think it's Empire is number 1. Last Jedi is number 2 for me. I think Revenge of the Sith is number 3 for me.
Yeah.
It's good.
New Hope is probably number 4 for me, and then Rogue One is probably number 5 for me.
The thing with 8 is that I love 8, the parts that I do love. But what happens when I think about 8 is I only take the parts which is majority of the movie that I like, and I think that's the movie. But it's not. That's not.
It's
the whole,
not.
That's a good part of it that I don't care for. So like to be fair about it, I have to insert that piece back into the movie and then subtract some points.
No, that's fair. I think that's a fair point. I think that for me, the parts that I do love, there's no parts that I don't like. There's parts that I don't enjoy as
I can
much.
leave it out.
Yes. But I think the parts that I love are so high that it still averages it down like
Yeah.
right below.
Rogue One is really
It's good.
Fucking
It's
good.
top 5 for a spinoff. That's still something.
Yeah.
There's a new.
Is that a spinoff though? Because we go,
Technically.
That's why at work I was like, okay, we're gonna go Rogue One and then directly into Episode 4.
Yeah.
And
I think that's fair.
that fills your time, right?
8 hours.
Fills your time.
Fills your time. There's a new FX Obi-Wan saber that looks pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Yeah. It's tempting.
But so yeah, next week we're gonna watch Unbok. I think
What are you going to watch?
Unbok.
Unbok the
Dude,
Jelly?
why you look? Don't look at me like,
Tony-
don't
it's Tony
give me-
Jaa.
Yeah,
Look,
don't give me that look. Don't give me that fucking look.
I don't want to culturally offend. I believe it's not an Asian. It's actually Cyndi Lauper, and it's called She-Bop.
and then they re-released it later. The Hanson brothers did it. It was Mbop.
I started the Blade Runner animation.
Black Lotus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm only halfway through it. Like, it was okay. It didn't draw me as much. I mean, it was good,
Okay.
but I think like the animation doesn't hold up to. Well, some of it is good, but like overall, it's not up to par of today's standards.
Okay.
There's much better animated.
It kind of gave me like Clone Wars vibes almost. the way it was
Yeah,
done.
it does a little bit.
Everything was
Yeah,
like metallic, and
yes.
you know how the had the.
but I expected like
brushing on everything.
more
It is
refined
based on how new it
animation.
is. Yeah.
But I like the story okay so far.
I mean, I think I watched it pretty much all back to back to back, and
Yeah,
like it created to me it created a world that
Yeah, it's
you knew where
pretty
you
good
were.
world building, I think.
Yeah,
But I'm definitely gonna finish it. But like so far, like I like it, but I don't love it. Like I wanted to love it.
yeah.
And I think the only last thing is I forgot when we're talking about Batman. I forgot to say this is that I always shat on it enough. But like what another thing to shit on it about is I really didn't need the shirtless scene because it took
Of what?
of him being shirtless.
Oh, which movie again?
Batman.
The
The
new-
Batman.
the new-
It took my like suspense of disbelief
I don't even remember
further
it.
out because he's shown to be a very physical, capable fighting person, and he doesn't even have the gains of an average gym rat when you see him with his shirt off. I don't believe he can fight like that.
I don't even remember this.
I don't.
No,
either.
there was a thing we would say spray painting and
Yeah,
making
well,
the fucking.
he's doing the Riddler diagram on the floor when he moves all the
could have kept his shirt
furniture.
on.
Yeah.
Because it took me out because I go to the gym. I'm like, dude, the average motherfucking 18-year-old can fucking take you apart.
But I agree with you. However, I would say the best fighter that I've ever seen in my life, ever, that I'd put against anybody. You wouldn't look at him necessarily and think that he was a physical specimen.
I mean,
It's not about being ripped, right?
Okay.
He just didn't look. He looked frail. to
Okay,
me.
all right, fair enough. I just need to understand your perspective. Got
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Understood.
Yeah.
Say less.
He looked
Got you.
frail.
Got you.
But that's it for my notebook. It's been 2 days.
What do you expect? All he's been doing is watching the Beachbody DVDs because that's all he's got. And he listens to one song and it doesn't get his cardio up very high.
Yeah,
something in the way.
that's some low energy
Something-
shit right there, bro.
Something in the way, boss.
All right, so let me see what I got.
Hey, Bobby.
Here. Yeah.
How was your nerd week?
Thank you for asking. So I finished Slow Horses.
It still gets me, that fucking name.
The ending, talk about satisfying, where I'm like, the ending often leaves me dissatisfied.
Huh.
Perfection.
Gary Oldman did some good shit.
Dude. So
You like that show. I keep on
gonna,
seeing ads for that. But
I'm just going to write, I'm just going to read what I wrote down afterwards because my memory, it's awful. Slow Horses, edge of my seat. That's a note to myself saying I was on the edge of my seat the entire episode. Most satisfying ending. Don't know if I need an action-packed second season. They showed a trailer for the second season. Apparently, is already shot.
And where's this at again?
It's on Apple TV, but it
that's
looks.
why we'll never see it.
But it looks action-packed. Like it looks like dun, 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 dun.
Is
And I'm
this
like,
supposed to be somewhat
I don't know if I
comedic?
need all that, huh?
Is this supposed to be somewhat comedic show?
No.
No, it's supposed to be serious.
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's that ending is the best ending I've seen of a TV show in some time.
Yeah, they definitely don't need a second season.
The show overall ended up being like a B+ to me, not an A+, but a B+.
I mean, it's still a high score.
Yes, but the ending A+++++++. And then I have a Moon Knight in here, and then I have Doctor Strange in
same.
here.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
And then I already talked about all this.
People don't
stuff
like
ahead of
Doctor
time.
Strange. Is the
General consensus.
Well, so that's a conversation.
It's broad.
Have you?
Yeah, talk
Joe,
to me.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, you ready? All right.
Make it relevant. to me.
Spoilers in 99 or
No.
Not yet?
No.
We're keeping it?
No,
We're
yeah.
keeping it?
We'll keep
All right.
it. We'll keep it. Joe, there's in my day, there was like a plastic cylinder, and you would open up the top of the plastic cylinder. Inside said plastic cylinder,
Where this is going?
was a small plastic cup attached to a small plastic handle, and you could pick that up, and you could take some of the powder that was inside of this cylinder, and you could toss it into a pitcher. Then you fill the rest of it with water and ice, Joe. Then you add, if you're a fucking civilized person, you add a decent amount of sugar to it. Some would argue it's already sweet enough.
Nope.
I would say you add some sugar to it. Then you spin the spoon until I'd say maybe 50 to 60% of the ice melts. When you take that beverage and you pour it into a glass and you serve it to people, it's delicious. Unless we're talking about changing the fucking mindset of the entire human population, in which case it's a metaphor for being a bunch of bullshit.
Oh my God.
There's some Marvel Kool-Aid out there.
Oh shit.
And people are sipping it.
I mean, we've known that for a while though.
Heavy on it. Let's get into the notes real quick, and then we'll circle
Questions
back.
into?
And yeah, we'll do the questions as well. Good call. So we have, for one, I wrote this note for you, Joe.
For me.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and Dave.
And
Dave.
excuse me?
I'm down.
So Dave Chappelle was attacked.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yo. And it is a comedy festival too.
So
Motherfucker got rotated.
So let me ask. So first of all,
Did you see my man that did it on the
it seems
stretcher?
like they beat the dog shit out of
Yeah.
him.
He
Yeah,
got
oh,
fucking
yeah.
He
spun
looked like
upside down.
Kanye after the wreck.
So do we know, has it been publicized? I know that Dave made a joke on stage that he was attacked by a trans man. Which I thought was somewhat funny because I thought it was a play on because he's like, I was almost hit by a trans man
Instead of a Trans Am.
instead of a Trans Am, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
But do we know that that wasn't a joke on his social status versus what this person's true intentions were, or had the true intentions had all been publicized?
I haven't heard anything more about it. I might have missed it though.
It was a guy in his early 20s with a history of mental
In
instability.
a gun.
He had a fake gun.
It was a fake gun with a real knife.
So,
Yeah.
so-
Which is wild.
Yeah.
well, hang on.
He
No,
brought a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, but what it was let's pretend this has the handle of this knife is
a fake gun.
and,
Yeah.
and it flips out just
be
like
a-
a regular.
which is
They were
wild.
making it out on TV like it was a gun, and then the knife just
Like a bayonet.
like
Like a bayonet on a Glock.
yeah,
like it was like some kind of ballistic knife or
Both are
something.
wild.
You gotta get mad close.
like a switchblade or something.
Yeah.
So we don't know what this dude's intentions were, as far as I know.
I haven't heard.
Swallowing out.
But can we make some noise for my guy still being untouchable regardless?
You know, this might be Will Smith's fault.
Yeah, that was some Will Smith joke.
So
Well,
have
hang
you
on,
heard?
hang
Yeah,
on.
Chris Rock went on right after.
And said that, but
I was
I'm
smacked
just-
by the softest rapper alive.
I'm talking about.
He's not wrong. I wonder how soft his hands were.
I'm talking about the fact that he
Just lily pads.
went on stage and did that.
Yeah.
And that people don't, understand how the world works. Well, if he did it, I can do it too. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that's what it was, but
Yeah.
broad strokes, right?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, man. I mean, I don't know, because that could have gone real wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that Chappelle is still with us.
Yep.
I'm happy that this young gentleman did not die, being as though his age is what it is, but was also served a little bit of this is reality, waiting for you at the left of every wrong turn.
His family said he had recently been homeless, and I'm thinking, how did he get? I mean, I don't know. How do you even get into something like that at that level? Because I wouldn't imagine. I don't know. Who knows?
Probably not a cheap ticket.
Their own life story, bro.
I think there's a cheap ticket
There's a wild
in
circumstance
LA
out
at a
there.
comedy festival.
But yeah, shout out.
It's also wild, like a family member says that the other family member recently became homeless. They didn't come up with them; they became homeless.
That's true.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, man, Dave Chappelle's a fucking national treasure, and we must protect him at all costs.
Fair enough.
Was it him right next to fucking
Esteban.
Esteban?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's important, man, because, and I'll tell you who else is getting there for me. He's not on the same level, because to me it's Chappelle, and then the next person that's kind of willing to say fuck everything is Bill Burr. And
He's still playing the politics game a little bit.
a little bit.
Like to keep
Agreed,
employed.
because he's not on the same level.
Right.
He can't do it the same
can't
way.
do it.
But the next person down is Andrew Schultz. Have you seen his recent bit about? Hold on one second. It's worth having. it's worth having a look, and I'm uncomfortable because I don't have anywhere near any of their power or influence. I'm uncomfortable playing it, but hold on.
Come on.
That dude's that guy, man.
Can I say phenomenal?
I love the fact that
phenomenal.
he'll dig at both sides.
And I strongly recommend, if you like that, check out Andrew Schultz Saves America on Netflix. It's a 4-part, 15-minute episode each
I've watched a couple of them.
that. Just
Okay.
Amazing.
Dude,
Just fucking
he's going
amazing.
after everybody. That's
everybody.
Nobody.
It's in that same
And he's
Chappelle
not
show,
lying.
South Park, that same, like, everybody's a target. You know,
Yeah, and it's
equal opportunity
and
at
it's
its
fucking
best.
good.
fair. Like the shit he's saying is fucking fair.
Agreed.
The best thing I saw from the correspondence dinner is Trevor. You guys know who Trevor Noah is?
Yeah.
The guy in the
Daily Show. Yeah.
That dude's trash too, man. By the way, he's no Jon Stewart. I'm just putting it out
no,
there.
he's not. No.
He's not. I think a lot of people
I do like him. but,
learned
you
to
know.
love him during the pandemic because he, did the show from home. Whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways, don't give a shit about any of that for this point. He's up there doing his shtick, and he says something like, "Biden asked me to come up here and speak because he knows he looks best when there is a mixed race African American standing beside him."
I was going to put him
Talking about obviously
in the
Obama.
Himalayas.
Yeah, it landed a lot better from him, but that was some good stuff.
Dude. No, I was just letting Biden speak.
For himself.
So, other notes. So, anyway, we all celebrate Dave Chappelle fucking surviving. Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer.
Yep.
Thoughts,
Was
comments?
it a trailer? Or was it more like a teaser?
I think
or-
this one was a trailer.
It was a full
Before was
trailer.
a teaser. This was a full trailer.
I don't feel like I got a whole lot more.
No, not really.
But I'm still on board.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you
still-
get the, you get
I
the
like him in
Vader
that role.
stuff.
I still think that one female Inquisitor looks silly.
A little bit.
She looks silly for looking normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like every Sith,
she should have something.
with the exception of Count Dooku, who played like the first Count Dracula ever or some shit.
he's
Like,
Christopher
I
Lee.
don't fucking. That's another thing.
Christopher
Christopher
Lee.
Lee, I respect him, but I don't fucking know that Dracula really. You know what I
Right.
mean, like, I respect your work.
But you know Saruman.
Now that I know.
Yeah.
That I'll give you a little bit of this. But like all these Siths, I've said it 1,000 times, but they all look dramatic and
they have
everything and cool or wicked and
interesting
gnarly or
tattoos or
whatever. And
something,
then there's also Renita. How are you?
she looks like
She's like, I came to kick ass and take some Jedi lightsabers. I'm just here for the. I was told there would be cake and pie. Actually, I was
under the impression.
But anyway, I'm on board.
I'm fully.
I'm probably
I'm fully filled with blood.
6 to midnight.
to quote my friend
6 to midnight.
Joe KW. I'm more excited about this than I have been about Star Wars
Me
in
too.
some time? Question mark. Yes.
Question mark. Yeah. So, and did I read it correctly? We're getting 2 episodes in the first.
the first.
Really, and there's only like 6.
There's only 6.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
yeah, they said they're doing 1 and 2.
And
right
I think it may have
back to
been.
back.
Honestly, it probably ends up being like, well, we can show this for 5 weeks until the next thing comes, or we can show it for 6 weeks and they're going to overlap.
Right.
Let's just give them 2.
Yeah.
And
What's the overlap?
I'm thinking about staying up till 3
Really?
a.m.
You're doing
to
a
watch the
midnight?
first.
Wow.
Well, it's 3 a.m. is
He's
when
your
I-
favorite character, right?
At that point, I would just set my alarm.
Well, that's what I was.
He's been sleeping since 7.
So Mason and I,
6 hours. He's good to go.
Mason and I are like ships in the night sometimes and coming and going. So
I wake up like a Disney princess. Then we have strange news, some Baltimore County stuff.
Yeah.
We like to keep it local around here. So
Comes across my feed.
no, it came across mine as well. So hold on one second. I'm gonna just play this on the
Oh yeah, you got the clip. Okay, good.
so we can get a general idea.
hopefully there's an ad.
Some ad, we get some
Students
free
about
ad
this said
space.
there's private-
Hold on.
Free
Baltimore County
AdSense.
Police are looking for potential victims of a music teacher at several schools in our area. They say he recorded students without their consent during private lessons at his home. WJZ investigator Mike Kelvin is live in Baltimore County with what we're learning about the case. Mike.
Vic, police say this started when one student noticed the cameras and then told a social worker. That's when police got involved. They believe there are at least 7 victims.
Hand on beat 1 and a strike on beat 2.
He's playing a timpani.
For years, Scott Timon taught music classes at many schools in and around Baltimore. Police now believe he secretly recorded students while giving lessons at his home in Pikesville.
They were security cameras placed in what we would consider a private area, and through that, the individuals would go into this private area and they were recorded without their permission.
Have you recovered videos, and how many?
So I'm going to read a little bit of it so we don't. It's a long video. A 46-year-old music teacher from Baltimore County who committed suicide last month is suspected of secretly recording people inside his Pikesville home, or as I like to call it, Pikesville. Authorities said on Monday, Scott, this guy who taught jazz music at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, at several private schools in the area, including McDonough. School died April 5th. According to a copy of his obituary, no cause of death was listed.
So wait, the guy's dead?
Yeah.
Well, you know why he was recording those people.
Oh boy,
because he doesn't like to toot his own horn.
There you go,
dude.
So
Bobby, I don't want to play your heartstrings on this one.
I appreciate it because it would strike a chord with me.
Oh man, yeah. Music notes are everywhere right now.
Yeah, they're everywhere. It sounds like he marched to the beat of his own drum.
He might have weaponized the music. You never know.
Music as a weapon. I'll say this: like he sounds like he knew what was coming. And was like, you know what? I'm out. Maybe I am a monster.
And you know, he's a great fan. He was a huge fan of the band 6 Feet Under. So, but he lives life and death. You know,
and the show 6 Feet Under.
It's exactly right. Yeah. So I was using the music.
I will tell you. Yeah. No. I mean, he scored the music for 6 Feet Under as well. As I understand.
Oh man, he did. Yeah.
I'll say this: like monstrous, whatever, but conversation point, right? I can understand how a teacher today that was giving private lessons, because there are tutors and shit, like that's a real thing.
Would
right?
record it to protect themselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Fought against any allegations. Yeah.
But keeping that shit a secret, having that shit aimed at funny ass angles and shit, get that shit the fuck out of here.
Asking
You're a monster.
kids to go change into the special apron before they did their
oh my god
drum beatings.
But I would be like, hey, Mrs. KW, while your son is here learning piano at your request. I just want to let you know for his safety and mine, I will be filming the incident and
don't call it an incident up front.
Yeah. Don't call it an incident.
Are we doing the lesson class? Whatever.
When you're right, you're right. I will be filming the class just for both of our
and
safeties.
you have a copy of it after class for the review.
Yep. And then now I'm on board with you filming.
Yep.
Other than that,
do it.
monster.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. All right. And then that's it. So that takes us to questions. We don't have a whole ton.
But guess what we'll have next week?
Yeah, exactly.
A shit ton.
So we'll start at the beginning. So this is from James M. Hello, NRR crew. First, forgive me if I missed it on a past episode, but are any of you watching Halo? You have not missed it. None of us have talked about it.
Because it's on fucking Paramount. Who has Paramount?
Peacock. Peacock.
Well, hang on. Is it Paramount or Peacock? That's two different things.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Paramount. It's Paramount Plus. Yeah.
He said,
you have everything right, Chris?
I never played the games and have very limited knowledge of the franchise, but decided to give it a shot. I think it's really good for a game adapted live action show. Intriguing and good acting, in my opinion.
Wow. I think people who
don't know the game are loving it, and the people who do know the game hate it.
Yeah,
really?
That's what I've heard.
I think that's what it's on my feed is the case.
But none of us have seen it.
I haven't heard any. I mean, I guess I've heard a couple people that are Halo fans say that they watched.
I didn't play much of the game, but
I've never played it.
I've played some of the games, but I've read a lot of books. I like the world. I like the story. I like Master Chief. So I am a fan of the franchise itself. So I would be hesitant to watch it. I like the stuff they put up, live action stuff they put up before, like Forward Unto Tomorrow is like great.
Isn't that like the CG one, or is that there was a CG one?
There's a CG one which I enjoyed, and there's a live action one.
Okay, I saw that. The
CG
CG
one.
one.
Enjoyed the movie.
Cool. He says, second, I could not be more excited for the Kenobi series. Ewan McGregor was the best things about the prequels, and can't wait. What about the dialogue?
That McGregor delivered specifically.
No,
the younglings, bro.
No, about. It is because I am so in love with you.
Like my whole body tenses up every time I hear it. Like it's like I got brick and mortar.
We need a meme of Joe like that.
It is because I am so in love. No. comma, it is because I am so in love with you. Second, I cannot be more excited. Best thing to come out. What are your thoughts on what you want to see? More importantly, what do you not want to see? So I don't really have any thoughts on that personally. The only thing I want is that something comes out of this where when I see Obi-Wan take his cloak off to Luke in episode 4, it means something more to me.
Yeah.
That's it.
You want to add to,
That's all I want. That's all I want. In terms of what I don't want to see, I don't want any Mandalorians or clones or like just to pop up for no reason and be like, "We're here to sell some bloody toys."
Well, what about Baby Yoda making it?
Yes, same.
Well, it depends on which clone.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
No, I didn't give a name.
Yes. A generic clone. Like, if it's some specific clones, I would like an interaction. That would be amazing.
That's fair.
Do you think Ahsoka will spin out of this?
No.
Like someone to come out and call him General Kenobi would be amazing to me.
I'm very nervous.
I was just going for the joke.
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this is probably the
closest to you.
This might be the most important Star Wars event in my personal fandom.
It could break stuff. It could break stuff.
It could break me.
But also, you are very forgiving.
I am.
I think
you're fluid.
I am.
You're
but if they
forgiverton.
change the character,
You're forgiverton.
I'm a fluid giver, guys. Speaking of which,
so to speak.
Speaking of which,
giver. He's going to give that fluid.
if they change like the core dynamic of the character, I'm probably going to be pretty aggravated with it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to, I don't know. Who knows what the fuck they're going to do. I like what I've seen. I like that it's not all, sand. Crispy bodies on the floor. I like the techno neo cyberpunk world. I'm all about.
And actually, it kind of reminds me of the fake city I built. I'm kind of like, that's what that's going to be from now on.
Yes, perfect. Honestly, it's almost like they took the vision I had in my head from like the underside of Coruscant at Night. Yeah, Coruscant Nights from that book series. It's available in paperback, hardback, audio book, Kindle.
Actually, you just come to Bobby's and borrow them because he's not reading them anyway.
I would like to read those if you'd let me borrow.
So, if you think 4 years is long enough, hang on a second. I want to double check. Is that the longest hold you have of anything? I think
here? So, bro.
Yeah, because I think it's got this beat by just a bit.
Okay.
Then he says, for what it's worth, this motherfucker. For what it's worth, I too am a stander to wipe. Some background, I'm...
Yes! There are 3 of us out there.
Hashtag stand with standing standards.
I'm 6'3".
Yes!
My favorite one still, hashtag wise, because you've done numerous variations of it, is I don't stand alone.
Yes.
I don't stand alone.
Okay,
I'm 6'3", and have always done it that way. Dude, how big is your mug?
Who taught you, bro? Who taught you wrong? What didn't teach you?
Don't remember if that is how I was taught or came about it myself. I do think there is a misunderstanding with standing. See what I did there? I do not stand straight up and let the cheeks smush the doo-doo to be spread out. He said that would be ridiculous. It's more of a squatting position that allows me to reach around back and get at the problem.
It's so much work, man.
Listen, buddy,
your quads are going to give out.
Don't give away all our secrets here, okay?
It's not much different than the sit and reach around the back. Wait, I'm not doing that. just more of a stand a little and squatting position.
Dude.
And then his hashtag, I like that everybody has a different hashtag for standing. None of us normies.
Normies,
please.
Normalize standing to wipe.
Yes, I can get behind
From James M.
Just think about it. It can't last, man. It's not sustainable. You're gonna get to a certain age where you're not gonna be able to do that.
I'm gonna get some Livestrong bands made.
Stand strong.
Stand strong.
Stand strong.
Oh my god.
Well done, Phil. Actually, Phil, for that, I'm going to give you one.
Yeah, baby.
So, this is from Caleb. Caleb's becoming a regular. I love to see it. He says, good day, gentlemen. There's definitely an appropriate time and place for everything. At the gym, holding 135 pounds over your face is not the appropriate time to listen to Nerd Rage Radio.
No, dude. I say this shit all the time. Don't.
I've decided it's time to get my fat Irish ass in shape. So, first of all, as a fellow 1/4 Irishman, I culturally bond with you as all Irishmen do when we see each other. We give ourselves the secret nod. And so I'm trying to start hitting the gym again. I typically listen to music when I lift, but prefer podcasts and audiobooks when I'm running using the treadmill because it helps me pass the time better. You know what's interesting? So this is not by any means straight. It's not that. But I lift every third day, right? And I prefer podcasts while I'm lifting over music. I know people we're like, oh, give me the so I can, but I don't need that shit.
No, me either.
I like to be engaged in something where my body is just doing something while my mind is doing something else.
Yep.
Anyway.
No, don't. I don't. You gotta pick.
Telling me no. We're not allowed to do that.
But
you gotta curate your fucking gym list, bro. Like we have many times on when we're twitching and people have accidents because sometimes I say wild ass shit. I'm like, or like they have it on speaker. They're like listening to. I'm like, bro, I say shit, wild shit. Don't have it around your fucking family.
And I feel like
you do say wild shit on that.
I feel like let me preemptive this with a. It might be me rubbing off on you. So he said, I was listening to last week's NRR during my treadmill warm-up and just decided to keep it going for my lift. Right about the time y'all get to the sex positions questions at the end, I'm holding a barbell over my face because I was bench pressing. Trying so hard not to laugh because laughing means losing teeth. Needless to say, I think I'll wait until the next workout to listen to you guys from now on. To add to the aforementioned question, 69 is another one that just doesn't quite work. Last time we tried it with her, well, first of all, bloody 68, and I owe you one. You know what I'm saying? Last time we tried it with her on top, she couldn't stop laughing because my nose got buried in her ass, and she said,
"Love it, that's bonus."
The resulting mouth breathing I had to resort to made it sound like she was getting eaten out by Darth Vader. We tried it with me on top, but once again,
monstrous.
She couldn't stop laughing because, as you can imagine, she was directly under the enemy's scrotum, if you catch my drift. Anyway, that's all I got for this week. Keep it real, or whatever the fuck kids are saying these days.
My God.
Thank you for writing.
Thank you. 69 is overrated.
He's pretty regular.
From,
So,
like, a lot of ladies I've been
I'm a
talking,
big fan. I'm a big fan.
I like it too, but from feedback, because we talk about sex a lot on Twitch.
Yeah.
A lot of ladies are like, get that shit out of here. Just take turns. Just like, do one and the other. Like a lot of ladies don't like the 69.
So what's funny is, like, you know, I ask a lot of sexual questions to people as like let's get to know each other.
Yes.
You know,
it says a lot about you. What you willing to talk about?
Yes, because I want to get I hate small talk. I want to get to medium talk immediately.
Medium talk,
and then
like them crabs.
Yeah, and
like them crabs. They're not small talk. It's medium. It's medium talk.
It's a medium blues.
It's all
$46.
It's all good for
for medium talk.
Dude, I hope when you watch that, you're like, man, the fucking Skullface has been getting us jumbos for years.
No, hey, I've heard you guys talk about how much so that can be sometimes, and I'm like, damn, them crabs have gotten expensive.
And males. And number one, like, it doesn't matter.
And Bobby picks the meat off for you.
That's right.
You got it made. I got to pick my own when I come out.
I pick Pinkerton's meat, so to speak, and then and then I feed Cody pizza.
That's right.
Cody doesn't eat pizza.
Cody, when you come in soon, I'm going to feed you a piece of pizza and put it on Patreon.
Dude, you just said soon.
That needs to be.
That was a wild soon.
So is that your Baltimore juice?
So the more I drink, the more relaxed I get. Not just the more relaxed I get, and then the more like my past starts coming through.
You guys listen to everyone a treat. Put this on 75% speed and listen to Bobby talk.
Well, somebody said I can't do it with third rage because the way Bobby talks gives me an aneurysm.
Oh my goodness!
Because you know what I mean. Where was I going with that before the?
We're talking about licking buttholes, I think.
Yeah. But
sex stuff.
Oh yeah. So I asked, and a lot of times, like, I know it's not popular for men to hear this, but a lot of women, they're like, I don't really want to be eaten out. It's not like they're.
I haven't heard that much of.
They're like I'm self-conscious about it. I'm like there's a lot of that going on. Like, is he really enjoying it? Am I fresh? Is everything up to par? Is it well kept enough for? Like,
she's
all this,
fresh.
And she can't. They a lot of them they can't. They say they can't get out of their own head to enjoy it. Yeah, and it becomes they'd rather just get smashed out.
I mean, like, you got to think about it the other way. I think. Because, like, you know, like when you go fucking sucking a dude's dick, like it's not a great thing. I imagine some ladies like it, but a lot of times I feel like
it's different because
like you're doing it for them, they're doing it for you.
There's no man on earth. Well,
This is
maybe
they're
they're
talking about how women enjoy.
Yeah, but for me, it's like I'm like. It's like I hate to say it, but it's like the natural. It's like the natural. Like she's doing. Like listen. But let me.
Make her just make wild faces.
She's doing the act to please me.
Yeah,
and I'm being pleased.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking about is the pleasure.
Right.
And all she's thinking about is making sure that I'm pleased.
Right.
Now that's the same way on the opposite side, except she's not thinking that way.
Yeah,
she's thinking about all
these
other
other
stuff.
Like they
She's psyching
should
herself out.
be able to think about it that way.
So on my
give
side,
and take.
on my side, it's like, yeah, you're doing. I think you're doing a bang up job.
I'm gonna tell you quick.
It's never a bad job.
All right, you know what? You can put my name down as a reference. But yeah. So
I mean, the best 69 though, if you have the flexibility, is to reach all the way down to each other's butthole and make one continuous GI tract like Ouroboros snake.
So human centipede.
Yeah, exactly. One circle.
What the vanilla piss?
One circle of GI tract, where your mouth to her ass to her mouth, your ass,
I
bro.
don't think you could do that on Twitch. They probably ban you. Yet. On that Twitch.
Give me time.
James
put it on
G.
the OF.
James G writes in, "Hey guys, long time, no question. Unless you count the nonsense from your IGs, DNs." You know what, James G? I'm just putting this out there, and it's no judgment. It's been a long time since a rapid fire.
Oh boy, it has been.
Don't put pressure on people, man.
No pressure. Just
That's
saying.
right. He used to be a routine rapid fire guy. Yeah.
So he says, anyway, as a kid, my grandparents always had my cousin's G1 6-shot on the dining room table. Weird flex, I know, but it was because my gramps was the township supervisor. The people traffic would be nonstop, and it would always get messed with. So instead of putting it away, they left it out like a puzzle. So it got so bad that the county sheriff, undersheriff, I guess that's like the underboss,
the deputy.
Deputy? Is that a deputy?
Came back every day for a week on lunch and couldn't get all the 6 modes, let alone 2. It was a half day on a Friday, and I came over just because my grandma finally wanted them to see how it worked. A few minutes later, all 6 transformations shown. The cops were stumped. Question: what have you as a child had to help an adult do something simple that a child would understand? Or what's a memory of a childhood toy that always sticks out for you or a family member? He says, my grandma's 87 and memory's slipping a bit, God bless her, and she always tells the story clear as day. Oh, that's such a sweet, sweet thing. You know the drill, take care. Oh, you know I know the drill.
Childhood toy. Dang, I gotta think
go for it.
My dad was always fascinated by the engineering side of Transformers. Like he'd always like, hey, let me, how does that one work? And she's like, that's just incredible that they can do that. I mean, that's the main thing, around that sticks out. I remember one time I had ordered Duke, the G.I. Joe, send my points in, you're checking the mail every day. Like the day after you send it, you're like, I gotta check the mail every day. Comes, and I'm excited because this is the mail away Duke. It's the only way you can get it. I remember I was playing, I was at my grandparents' house, and they were installing a satellite dish. A satellite dish.
The old style.
Not the DirecTV little
Not
fucking
the DirecTV.
thing.
We're talking the full, and they were digging the trench, and I was there playing in the dirt, and my uncle, he threw a dirt clod at it, and I lost the gun.
Oh shit!
And I had brought it in a Ziploc bag and everything, and I was like, and I didn't want to say anything because he's, I knew he was just screwing around.
Yeah. He didn't mean anything by it.
Yeah, the guy he killed himself several years later.
Geez.
I don't think it was related.
Unrelated.
It was unrelated.
Damn,
I was gonna say
that was a weird flex.
Listen,
of
hey,
that turn.
Anybody
We've
else?
all had a dark turn tonight, Phil.
Yeah, we've all had dark turns. We're all sharing here, Phil. That's what podding's about.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any?
It's always been electronics. I've been hooking up electronics since as far as I remember. I've been
mine. I'm in the same boat.
Karaoke machine, stereotypical or not?
Oh, yeah.
I hooked up a karaoke machine at a 7-year-old. it was just this like plugging shit in and making it work.
So I'll tell you,
with a laser disc, bro, LCD, bro.
Mine is similar, but it's like just imagine it, right? Like me giving someone tech advice.
I mean,
like,
you do well nowadays. You do,
but like it's little shit. Like my dad is like I'm similar to him in that respect, where I feel like sometimes I'm not of this time. And like,
except he's actually not, but you are.
Exactly. And then like, but I mean, I had to help him log into a Netflix or a log, just figure out little shit. He's like, well, why in the hell would they need everybody to have your own little, everybody's got to have a special code, I guess. I'm like, well, Dad, that's how they know it's you and not somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that would be it. As far as toys and shit, I don't know what the fuck my dad would honestly remember. I think whenever I talk to my dad about it, he's always like, you're always into all that. Like it's like it all just it's all umbrellaed under one thing. He would remember certain
nonsense category. Yeah.
But like at the same time, when I was a kid, one of the most like kind of like special memories that I have is we would buy these model kits of Star Wars ships, like a TIE Fighter, X-Wing, and he would put it together, and then I would paint it. But we would like did it together at the table. I don't even know if he would remember it now, to be honest. But like for me, I would definitely remember it.
Don't ask him. Don't be disappointed.
Yeah. So next one is from Jacob. He says, fun story for you. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Welcome. Been listening since Beer and Bolters started.
Wow. Holy shit. That's like before my time.
5-6 years.
That's before I started listening.
So I didn't get to finish that sentence. Since Beer and Bolters started to tank.
Oh.
So, hey, look.
Womp womp.
You're amongst friends here, you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Come on. I'm just kidding. He said, I went in to get some blood work done. I sat down with the nurse, a big Hispanic boy. He wrote it, not me. And he pointed at my Captain America shirt I happen to have on. He asked, you a big Cap fan? I say, yep, he happens to be my favorite character. Sticks me with the needle. He goes on to explain that after Civil War movie, he felt that he was an anti-patriot. I explained it was an amazing example of Cap, had to tug and pull, so to speak. I like how you added that in. Between being a soldier and being a brother to his lifelong friend. I 100% agree. And I know I would have made the same decision if I was in his shoes/boots. He didn't like my answer. And when it came time to pull the needle out, no joke, the ass forcefully yanks the needle out of my arm. Blood goes everywhere.
What?
Oh,
that sounds like a...
I put in the same position, what nerve-related opinion would push you to harm another human being?
Holy shit!
Nothing too painful, but enough to make someone physically uncomfortable.
Dude, that is wild.
I give zero fucks about Transformers and Star Wars, but I still love listening to y'all's bullshit back and forth about life. Keep it going, dude.
I'm a healthcare professional.
I would not, as a healthcare professional, that's not okay.
Like I might not give I don't know. The only time that I work that I don't do 100% is sometimes I don't give I don't go the extra mile. Like if you ask me a question, I'll give you like a short answer, whatever. Mm-hmm. Or I make people wait. If they upset me in a work environment, I make them wait.
Let's take it out of the professional center. Let's just add in life. You're in a social interaction with someone, and
hurt them?
Not necessarily hurt them. Because we're all...
Because this is a very specific situation.
Correct. This person that dealt with his arm is an irresponsible, fucking unprofessional child. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And none of us, despite me...
that's a very specific opinion to hold,
are fit those characteristics. So let's say you're just in a social setting with people you don't know, and nerd stuff is coming up. What would make you just do an about face and say... I got no time for this guy based on this.
And walk away from the conversation, essentially.
Yeah. Like, nope. Sorry. Nope. 180.
Like nothing. Because, again, I fucking Twitch a lot. And nerds have come up a lot. So I've had many, many, many fucking hours of conversation with people with differing or opposing opinions. It doesn't bother me. Opinions, everyone has their own opinions.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat.
And when I was nerd shit, if you have some life shit opinions that I don't agree with, maybe like some serious I don't know, political whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know, some serious shit, but like not nerd shit, not fictional shit.
So I'll tell you, I would like to say I'm the same, but I think the one that just makes me like I can't do this with you. I can't and it's not personal against you. I'm just done. with this conversation.
I know what it is.
It's you're going to trash The Last Jedi and say that it's some Kathy Kennedy agenda to introduce feminist agenda.
But that's the thing.
Like, I'm out. I'm just done. I'm done with you. I'm 180.
That's not, to me, that's not nerd opinion about nerd shit. That's bringing
that's the political shit. No, I get you.
Exactly. I will be on the same page with you on that because that becomes real life shit.
Right?
Yeah, real political shit.
Dumb.
Yo, people it's not that I'm out here championing Kathy Kennedy, but like motherfuckers forget that she was involved
with everything.
Everything, dude. Like
Watch the
E.T.,
credits.
Jurassic Park, like most of the movies that you fucking love, she's involved.
She was in on the ground floor ages ago.
It's like.
It isn't like she was. I think people think that she was like a Nike executive that came over.
Exactly.
And
like,
she's been in the film industry her entire career.
People watch a couple YouTubers with an extreme view on it, and then they think they understand her. And I'm not saying that she's God's gift to anything.
No one's perfect,
but she's done more that I've loved than I've hated.
There's a lot. Give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I'm in a room and that conversation comes up and you're in the room, I'm just gonna leave because I don't want to fucking hear it anymore.
Yeah,
I'm sick.
Well, that's the thing. I usually just walk away from stuff.
Well, and at the very least, I got it.
No, I know, but I will say that point of contention with me on this show, I am drained of that topic. Like, I never want to ever talk about that again.
I mean, just to be fair, it's funny. Sometimes I feel like you set the trend early on, it just becomes a trend. But like, I was done talking about that after I did my how The Last Jedi saves Luke Skywalker, I was done with the topic.
Yeah.
Anything else after that has been me having to be forced into defending it.
Yeah.
Forced. Don't stop,
man. I see it.
Stop it, dude. I'm good at this shit.
Wow.
I'm good with like just tuning people and dissociating because I work in retail. I'm very good at just fucking turning my brain off to what people are saying.
Celebrity quotes on the internet are probably 90% fake. And I saw one attributed to one of my favorite actors. No, not Vin Diesel, Phil.
Are you sure though?
Hey, it's all about family.
It was The Rock, Keanu Reeves. And
Keanu Reeves.
I'm going to slaughter the quote, so I'm not even going to try.
He's a great actor.
Basically, what the quote was, I'm tired of telling people that I don't agree with their opinion. You'd say I've got 5 heads. Great, enjoy all 5 of them. I don't care. You enjoy what you want to enjoy. I'm not going to tell you any different.
Love it.
Like, wow, that's pretty strong.
Love it.
So we got a write-in from Brian B.
Oh.
Not to be confused with Brian Brink, but he says, "What's up, crew? Just got my crash box order."
Flex.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Bobby, don't worry. I ordered a Sherpa too.
Oh,
nice. 2 questions. Any wild ass strip club stories? I'll start
bro. Fucking Bobby.
I'll start there.
Just the block.
Man.
So I frequent an establishment or 2.
Yeah, no one's gonna be able to top Bobby.
So I'll tell you, I saw. I recently saw a story from somebody. It was like he took a picture in a strip club, which can be a faux pas.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Way.
But
it depends on the strip club, and it depends on the amount of money you're throwing. I can tell you that from experience. I have a picture of 4 strippers and my wife holding my dick. That's a fact. Let me say this.
Patreon, if you're $40 level, you might see it.
When I got, dude, I really got to build tears, man.
You do.
I was making that major Patreon money.
So anyway, he took a picture of a girl wearing about what I would consider to be a 2-inch heel. And he said, "I'm contemplating leaving." And I knew exactly the vibe. I have a lot. So
do I.
Yeah, like I love the strip club. I love going.
So do I.
Like I would go every week if I could. Like I quite enjoy it.
It seems like
is there a trip going?
I don't have one planned,
season?
but don't twist my arm and break it, Phil.
No, I mean, when stuff starts to happen.
Yeah, even when stuff doesn't start to happen, Phil.
I feel like I've been priced out of the strip club. I mean, to the point where like if you don't go in there with a G to nobody,
that's true.
You gotta go to the shitty ones.
It's true.
See, I like the shitty ones.
Yeah, no.
The shitty ones are
the ones where you throw pennies.
No,
the ones where you pay $20
you don't
for
make
water.
it hail.
You use those gold dollars and you twirl them.
So I can tell you. All right. So, So I'm going to give you guys the option.
Okay.
I have, off the top of my head, I know I've told that story about that Ravens player sitting next to us 100 times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that one out. I have the one where shoulders almost got hit with a stripper.
That's right.
And I have one where I got thrown out of the Ritz on Broadway in Fells Point. I'm willing to tell either one.
That should be the one.
That's the one?
Do the Ritz. Yeah.
Okay. So, let me tell you something. I'm not the guy, and it's not a judgment, but I'm not the guy that's ever going to pay for pussy.
Yeah.
I'm just not that guy.
You don't even pay for massages.
See, that's what it is. It's not because I'm above it morally. I'm below it morally.
Yeah.
I'd pay for a lot if the cards were right. I can't handle the idea that you don't want to do the things I'm paying you for, and that I can't get in the right space.
It's like the ladies getting eaten out.
I'll be able to physically perform, Joe. Don't get it twisted. But I won't enjoy it mentally. And the mental game of sex is a big part.
Oh, yeah.
of it. Okay. So I got no intentions of fucking a stripper when I walk into a strip bar. Me. That's just me. I sit down. We're watching girls. We're having a good time. We're at the Ritz. Me and my buddy Rio. God bless the dead. And I see a young. I'm digging this girl's style. Her moves, everything. I'm going to tip her heavy when she comes by. The bartender sees me digging her. Comes up and says, "Hey, you want to buy the girl a drink?" And I was like, "Nah. What's a drink cost?" And he was like, $60. And I was like, "Well, what does that entail?" Because I know I'm from the block. I went to the block. Like I'm on fucking Fells Point. Like it's not even the same.
No, it's not the same universe.
So he's like, "Well, that gets you a lap dance in the champagne room." And I was like, "Well, what about the head?" As a joke.
Yeah.
I don't want the head.
Yeah.
I just said, "Well, what about the head?" And he was like, the head, and I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You're not. This isn't a prostitution ring." And I said to him, and I was like, "This is awful." I said, "Look, I don't walk into Walmart looking for cheeseburgers." And then before I knew it, Joe, these two gentlemen that were about the size of this house picked me up by my armpits and put me out of the bar. And luckily they didn't throw me on the ground where I had to make threats that I couldn't uphold. But they sat me on the ground, and I was like, all right. And then I yelled. I was like, I was just kidding. And then I got to thinking, I was like, I wonder if my friend's going to come outside, or if he's going to stay in there with the good looking girls. My friend came outside. And that was how I got thrown out of the Ritz Carlton on Broadway in Fells Point.
Nice.
Hilarious. Do you have a
I have choices as well.
Yeah. Do you want to give us an option?
Yeah, I'm going to give you 3 options.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
I'm going to give you 3 states to pick from. Because I've had strip club experiences in multiple southern states. All right, Alabama, obviously.
Oh, that might be good.
Tennessee.
Wow.
Oh, that might top it.
And Mississippi.
Oh shit, dude! That is tough, dude. That is that's a Russian roulette of southern states.
How close to the Appalachian Mountains is the Tennessee one?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Is it more Nashville, or is it more?
It's southern central. It's right over the state line. It's not far over the state line, but the laws are different in Alabama, or they were different in Alabama and Tennessee at the time.
But is it Nashville-ish, or is it Appalachian-y?
You play the music real quick.
All right, I want the Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to say this was 2001. It's myself, my brother, and my brother-in-law at the time. That sounds Tennessee already. It is.
Well, any of those states, really.
I know.
At the time.
At the time in Alabama.
Where you're from?
Where I'm from, it's panties and pasties.
Wow, pasties too?
That's wild, man. What happened to the land of the free, though, bro?
No, that's still conservative, though.
That rule was not heavily
enforced.
Well, it wasn't not heavily followed. I don't know. And piercings obviously make things, anyways. So I don't even remember why we were together, and we ended up. It's kind of a loop of shitty gravel parking lot strip club.
Nope, I get that.
I know the vibe.
That area.
So anybody who is who does not know the vibe, if you've ever seen the movie Varsity Blues.
Yes.
I have not.
Okay.
Wow,
well,
really?
Football.
High school kids. High school kids go to the strip club, find out that their hot
teacher
works
is
there.
a stripper.
And it's in in Texas in a gravel.
It's a giant gravel pit.
Are teachers today way hotter than they were in our day, though? I feel like.
I think so.
Okay.
I think I had like 2 attractive teachers.
It's good. It's CrossFit, isn't it?
It probably is.
Might be.
All right, continue.
I mean, I just had the milfy teacher that I think was. I can't 100% validate. She was fucking one of the students, but I'm pretty sure she was. So we end up in this one particular establishment. And there's a full on. I mean, this was the early 2000s. There's a full on porn store next door. You know, toys. Tapes. I said the word tapes. Big boxes.
VHSs.
I mean, the boxes are like this wine box times 3.
Oh yeah, the big
extra.
Yeah.
Like, why were they that big? It doesn't make any sense.
It's like a cardboard with the fucking plastic spray inside.
Because they don't want you stealing because they know people are going to steal
It's the same
porn.
concept. Remember when CDs came in that long ass
plastic
you buy a CD and like fucking they'd have to wrestle. Anyways, all right. So we there's a strip club next to it. I think it's all probably the same business. We walk in, and pay whatever to get in, and all they have to drink is canned beer.
What the fuck?
That's it. Canned beer.
Dude, I'm feeling it. I want to go already.
The laws are. I'm sorry, whoever's foot I just played with.
That was me. That's okay.
That's all right.
We're in a moment. Go with it.
I keep my feet
Just
up.
lock eyes first.
So
funny story about nerd rage. Chris and I often bump feet and we don't talk about it.
Put these under the table.
It's a fact, right?
we're gonna interlock toes one day.
Ooh, that's the title right there. Interlocking toes.
Oh, the title's already been chosen.
That's the OnlyFans. That's the first video. So at a certain point, I mean, there's a lot of girls working there. We got some solid 6s.
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
A lot of 4s.
Yeah, I'm okay.
But it's a good time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
Try hard, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I have one rule in this bar and with these guys. I said if somebody plays country music, if somebody does a dance to country music, we're leaving.
Okay.
And it was agreed upon.
It seems pretty extreme for the area, but okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, that seems
it was
like
actually pretty rare to hear country. I mean, it was normally Motley Crue. It was hair metal. You'd get some
But would you get a Linkin Park song?
occasionally.
Oh God, yes, of course.
He said the area is right in that pocket.
But, I have a story
You're probably
about
more
that
likely
too.
to hear like Limp Bizkit and
they're back.
Stained.
They're back.
Things.
They had the wildest ad for the Baltimore show.
I saw it in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Urinal advertising is a wild fucking world, man. Sorry,
but there's also an online commercial where he and Wes Borland are in like country makeup, and they're saying we're going to Baltimore. They're advertising their show of Limp Bizkit Still Sucks. And I was like, that's a pretty good ad.
And they're playing in the same high school gym at the college. So,
sorry.
The DJ says coming up after your song, we got the dollar dances.
The dollar dance.
I don't know what that means, but I'm listening.
Dollar dance I usually hear at like a southern wedding. So that's interesting.
I'm from the South, and I don't know what that means. How many cousins you got, Phil?
You ever been to a Greek wedding in Baltimore? Like, because that's
I've seen them. I've never been to one.
They got stripper vibes.
Yeah,
like there's a wedding.
It's a thing.
There's a dance that goes on at the reception where people throw dollars at the floor, and at the end somebody sweeps them up with the broom. Like it doesn't matter. Continue.
I do want to preface the rest of this by this is one of several Tennessee strip club stories I have, and some of them are in Nashville proper. So, dollar dances means you give a girl $1 and she bounces on you basically for 30-40 seconds
and the moves on.
Then they rotate and then you give another girl. I mean,
I'm down.
There was one woman there who I don't know if you guys are familiar with this term.
I have a thought for each one.
Phil would have been passing the nasties notes to these women. He'd write it down on a piece of paper because Twitter wouldn't think so. We'd have to write it out.
Just write on the dollar bill, bro.
I'd love to. Yeah, he'd write on. Dude, there it is.
Oh, Phil
writing on the dollar bills. That's why all them dollar bills have nasty shit written on them.
Phil be fumbling all over the pen, all excited. Like,
no, he pre-writes them all. He does it all week. He thinks this stuff.
I'd have a little sketch for each one.
Yeah.
So he just stuck his tongue out, ladies and gents.
There was one.
I'm gonna tell your mom.
Okay, so
Mom don't know half the shit I've done.
There was one woman at the time who was, I'm going to use this term, rode hard and put up wet. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm familiar. I've seen it on the back of a T-shirt, I believe.
Let's say she was maybe like a biker's girlfriend, but never the wife kind of vibes. So
Sons are trasher kids.
It's her. Sure, that's exactly right. So she. It's her turn to saunter onto the stage.
You did not say saunter. Okay, continue.
And I was probably on my 4th canned beer at this point.
What are you drinking?
It's probably. I think they had like canned Bud Light Tall Boys, and that's it. And they weren't really even that cold.
Almost as good as Bud Ice, Joe.
Oh, so she saunters up on the stage, and you hear the musical stylings of Mr. George Strait.
Wow.
Hang on.
Oh, there's going to
You need to listen to me sing here. Baby, all I got is this beat up leather bag. Until which I promptly
beat up leather bag and she's walking.
Hang on. And then I promptly looked at my 2 cohorts and said, and that beat up leather bag is going to take her pants off. We're leaving. And that's the end of that story.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
That
I
is
love
good.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I've never been to a trashy strip club.
Oh man, trashy strip clubs are.
I know there's definitely a charm and fun to them. I've never been to one.
And look, if you want to send a question to Nerd Rage, all you have to do is
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
Phil was twitching his fingers a little bit during that.
Look, I'm gonna turn these coasters over when that lady talks because that's
Dude,
just weird looking at your kids.
When you guys first put that in, I think I was drinking like soda or something, and I had liquid shoot up my nose because I was laughing
and
so
out of your
hard.
dick. It's okay. So then he said, real quick, thoughts on NFTs and the role they will play. For yeah, it's tanking.
It's cash grab. It's just like all the cryptos. Don't buy into it. It's a fucking scam. They mostly scam. Not all of them. Mostly
they thought it was going to be Bitcoin. So everybody tried to get in, but because everybody tried to get in, it wasn't Bitcoin.
It's pump and dump. It's what.
Well, I mean, a lot of celebrities.
Tell me about the second strip club story after the pump and dump.
But a lot of cryptos are like that. They're not Bitcoin. There's a lot of cryptos out. Anyone can just fucking make a crypto, fucking pump a bunch of money into it, sell it, and then you're fucking left holding the leather bag.
Have anybody,
dude? You're podding tonight.
Has anybody done the bachelor club or strip club for a bachelor party?
Yeah,
where the bachelor has to get on stage.
No, my buddy. So funny story. My buddy Rio.
Okay,
his cousin is Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, you in much trouble.
And
was that? Was it Rio's gun though? Was he holding Rio's gun?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, it was not. No, it was not.
Gilbert Arenas is why it's not called the Bullets anymore.
So Gilbert Arenas on my buddy Rio's bachelor night pulled up in a limo, and we thought he was going to party with us, and he was like, "Nah," and just passed $20,000 to Rio and said, "Enjoy the night."
No shit.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And we did.
Of course. Yes. I would imagine so.
A fantastic night.
And we did. So we are getting close to some time constraints, so I'm going to move it along. We have Moon Knight talk. Joe, if you want to stay for any of this, you're welcome to. If you want to go, you're welcome to as well.
I'll head out. So I haven't had dinner yet.
Yes. Go eat.
I've been to many strip clubs in my life. When I was younger,
we didn't give you a chance. I'm sorry.
It wasn't many. I don't have one single story because it was very normal. Like you go, you hang out, you have a good time, rowdy, whatever. Never anything crazy. But one time when I was 19, 20 years old, something like that, I got taken home by a stripper. That's like her name was Diamond. Her stage name was Diamond. Her real name was Dana. So I got a lap dance. And I thought she would just want more money or whatever, because she was like, "You want to come home with me?" And I was just thinking, "Are you a prostitute or whatever?" But I was down with it. I was like, "Yeah, I'll come home. I don't got nothing else to do." Yeah. But no, she took me home, and I dated her for about 2 weeks, and I couldn't handle it.
Wow.
I dated a fucking stripper. I got taken home by a stripper. I didn't ask her out.
So
that's like the most pimping story
I got a couple things to put out there. For one, Gamez also dated a stripper.
Nice.
Gamez doesn't listen to Week, so fuck you, Gamez. I'm exposing secrets.
Wait,
this was before the girl
Halloween?
No. That Halloween girl is the girl he was talking about here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when he broke up with. Right?
On top of that, my strip club crew was me, Rio, Troy, this Italian dude. Like, and I mean, when I say that, I mean like. Like
Italian hands.
He's right off the boat. This dude Andre, And then this, yeah, I mean, yeah. Phil and I both have Italian in us, so it's fine. And then it's not cultural appropriation. And then this Asian dude.
Huh. Okay.
The Asian dude always went home with a stripper.
That's
I don't know what it is.
Every
Why is that?
So I got the answer.
Okay, tell me because I don't know.
Then after like 6 or 7 times going out, I finally asked one of the girls that had buttoned up with him early on. Mm-hmm. I was like, "What is it?" Every time, like this dude wasn't especially handsome. Like he didn't have like a swag. Like he didn't have like a gift of gab or anything. I was like,
that was me.
I was like, "What is it about this dude that women are?" And he's like, this is a quote: "Asians are safe."
Dude, I was about to say that exact
Nice.
thing.
Oh shit, that's right.
Nice.
Guess I've never seen Korean horror movies, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like that. Yeah, good point.
Asians are
I kind of wonder,
interesting.
like, if I was more mature, like, I can't.
Like now or then?
No. Like, she was a nice girl. Like, I couldn't handle because I was immature. So my immaturity that I
couldn't handle what she did for a
couldn't
profession.
handle
You
what
couldn't
she
handle
did.
her what she did.
But like thinking back, like I with my mentality now, I would have liked to date her longer to see where it went. Not that I don't want to be with Krista, but I'm just like,
And you had that-
I missed out
I know
on some shit. I
exactly
feel
what you
like.
mean.
And you had that short hair young boy look, man. She was ready to take you for a spin out there on these streets.
I mean, she took me for a spin for a couple of weeks. That was good times.
So we're gonna go on to Moon Knight, Joe,
Yep,
and
I'm
then
gonna go have ribeye.
thank you for
Dude.
coming.
No,
too.
thank you. I know you don't like people bouncing early, but you know,
But good times.
Go flap your labias,
flap
man.
labias.
Flap your labias.
I'm gonna flap me some labias.
Yeah, go flap some labias.
I need a pee, Bobby.
Yeah. Do it.
That's right.
We'll scut it. All right, so Moon Knight. Let's start there.
Hey, just so everybody knows, spoilers in 99.
Yeah, 98, 97, 96. What do you have for Moon Knight?
As an overall series, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in there too. Like 8. I think it could have been better, but I did enjoy it a lot. It's my second favorite after Falcon and Winter Soldier, probably.
I'm going to give it a 6. I thought it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It passed.
I do agree with you when you mentioned on the show earlier that, or before, about if it had stayed in the mental institution,
it would have been more interesting.
That is
Yeah,
something
if
they weren't willing to go that edgy with it, and I'm disappointed.
Like, the whole show had been grounded by that. That was like, you always came back
because that would
to
have reminded me of
from
like the Raiden thing with the Mortal Kombat miniseries way back when.
Mm-hmm. So I do think
nobody knows what you're talking about, Phil.
that overall it is a mess. I think the Layla character is silly.
It's
It's silly
you
and
know,
unnecessary.
We've talked about all these shows as you know, it's going to progress the whole story forward, and I don't know exactly, other than introducing these characters.
What I don't
know how this.
Hoping by the end is there would be a link to either some other mystical thing or for upcoming Midnight Suns stuff, and they didn't do it.
See, but like we can't start like that's something else I've been noticing. In addition to it's leading to something else. We can't allow the bonus scene to define the quality of the thing.
I know.
That's becoming a constant.
It is, and it's.
But like, there's a Hunger Games moment in this fucking show where the part that you actually want to see, they don't show you. The fight's over. They fast forward and they're like, "Oh no, he won." I can't show you that part yet.
Right.
Because they were holding.
It's a secret.
Yeah, but
but now's the time to show the secret.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, at the finale.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
Yeah,
and they did it in the mid-credit scene instead to show the final personality,
Which is not the time. That's the wrong time.
That is the wrong time. That's the right time to maybe lead to something else if you're going to.
Correct.
But that's not the time to do the reveal.
Correct. I agree.
I like how they. I don't like the timing and how they did it. I like how they did it with how they revealed him, but it should have been the end of the last episode, not the mid credits.
So, Bobby, you said a moment ago during one of our very deep, meaningful conversations that we have here in
As we
Range,
always have.
that the mental part of sex is very important to you. I will say, I'll extrapolate the mental part and say that this show, probably more than any other Marvel show, put me mentally in a place that I think I drank the Kool-Aid on this one. Just to say, like, I don't know. It made me question, like, did I really just see that? Like, mentally, like, I don't know if that was the goal of the show or maybe I'm just losing my shit, but it seemed like it made me feel like I was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Some of the shit. And the whole overarching theme of that to me, I don't know. That captured my attention more so than maybe some other people. But that was the part that I liked, and I wanted to see that every week. I'm like,
that's
so I like that part of it too.
I like that, but I also like that from the perspective that I think that's how they probably should have handled Banner.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And
but like,
I'm disappointed they didn't do that.
I'll say that, like,
favorite of mine.
Whatever the 6 points, the 6 out of 10 scored for me is purely based on the craziness of the depiction of the character, not only in the mental institution and what's reality and what isn't reality, but also in which is the real Moon Knight, who's the fake Moon Knight, and all that. So I agree with you there. And then the second part is just his performance. It's just Oscar Isaac's performance.
He was amazing.
That's it. Like that show, the only merit that it has, the only reason why it gets a passing grade for me is because that actor is so fucking good. And I liked the not disjointed, but like the jarring element of me having to figure out what was real and what wasn't.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I'm saying that I agree that I enjoyed that element of it.
What about the kaiju fight?
So look,
I saw them building to that early on, and so I was like,
which is fine. You don't need to make them 1,000 feet tall. That's stupid. But if there was one thing that was good from it, the scene where the one character is standing over top of the other character. Is it the bad guy? Is it Ethan Hawke standing over top of Moon Knight and he's about to kill him? Yes. It's Ethan Hawke standing over, and then in the background is the giant alligator killing the Moon Knight god.
Yeah.
That was a cool visual layout.
That would have been like a perfect comic cover or something.
Yes,
that was exactly right.
Yes, that was a cool element. But then they just black out and fast forward, and it's been resolved. Don't worry about how it happened. We'll talk about it in the post-credit scene. Dumb. Do not sacrifice the story
for the cheap pop at the end.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. Correct. Yep. And I don't know. I mean, do we really need to say much more about this? We've talked about it every week.
I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm still happy with my Moon Knight purchase, like my pre-order for Hot Toys, because I didn't
know you had done that.
I did, because I like the design and I love his portrayal.
Are they doing both versions?
So I don't know. I'm not interested.
He's
only
not interested in Steven here.
Yeah. I'm only interested in the more proper looking one.
Mark?
Okay.
Don't say it like that.
But hang on. Just one more quick thing.
Yeah.
Just the overall breaking down of why Mark created Steven.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we really touched on it much, but like,
so that's worth talking about.
His like the mom.
Yeah.
That, like, to me,
that was powerful.
That was
good.
To me, the father is the sinner here, because he could have separated that situation. He was too scared to do anything.
But you get him too. You get his. You get the.
You do.
You know, like that.
Are you going to pick your child or your love of your life?
That's the stuff that I've been missing from a lot of this stuff.
I knew that was the meat.
That was my favorite. Exactly. So to speak, like, it's like, dude, like the fact that, like, the we talked about it last week, but like the scene where he kind of kills his ego, he comes back and revives him, but like there's something to be said for that. And then also just the idea that, yes, like, the components of his personality were around this traumatic event, and you get everybody's motivations. Like, the mother is a monster, but I understand where it's coming from. Like, I get it. The father is too passive, but I understand why. Like,
he's just trying to make everything work.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I really enjoyed that element of it. I wish it had. I'll be honest.
I wish it had more legs. It was half an episode they did that in?
Exactly. Well, if it revolved more around the title of the show, it would have been great. The problem is it revolves a good bit around Ethan Hawke. Yeah. It revolves a good bit around Layla. It revolves around all these other extracurricular characters that don't really, in my opinion, raise the tide for that ship. The strength is in that actor, the backstory, and that performance. And they could have ran that to Kingdom Come, but instead they didn't.
I did like the cult vibe from the Ethan Hawke bit,
which is fine. It's just like, he even seems a little mustache twirly in the sense of like see, like, I'm here for the evil sin. I don't know.
I did think it was a good twist when the
mustache twist.
Exactly. When the alligator, forgive me for not knowing any of their names. I know Conchu.
I'm good. Hey, I'm good with that.
Okay, alligator lady.
I operate in the
But
alligator space.
they could have done some more research on their Egypt
or not.
culture.
Or not.
Because they screwed that up.
I'm good with alligators and hippos.
So when the alligator tells him that, oh, your scales aren't balanced, let's go. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Because he, to like, evil is evil, but like to see, you're going to be able to do some fucked up shit that this little.
Yeah, I wish they would have leaned into that a bit more
and gotten. I think we probably, if either it had been another episode or they had gotten to that an episode.
Why would they make
sooner.
this one so short and compare?
Because they're testing the waters for this character, and this is a tiny bit darker material than they've done so far. So this was a test to me, and I think
it's a weird litmus for it.
Yeah,
I think it could have been great
because they want to do other stuff that's even more obscure, and they're not sure they're going to do it if this didn't do well.
I don't need
dumb. They've made their whole career off of making more obscure characters mainstream.
I don't need Layla as stealing Falcon's comic book wings.
Yeah, I got news for you. 13 years ago, Iron Man was obscure.
Yeah, and
it's true.
He was an obscure drunk played by. Never mind.
All right. So let's move on to Doctor Strange, the Multiverse.
What did I call? I called it something. I called it something funny.
So what do we give it out of 10 or a grade point or whatever you want?
WandaVision the musical. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a 6.
Yeah, that's a 6 for me as well.
And this is, I think, the lowest I've ever, since we've been doing any sort of scoring for stuff. 5 years.
For those keeping track of, that's lower for me than Venom 2 and Morbius, which are both a 6.5 for me.
I'm going F. I'm just going fail. I guess if I was maybe a 4, which is on brand, right? We're all kind of So I don't have good, bad, and ugly. I just have notes. Would anyone like to share their notes before I share mine? Mine are pretty funny.
I honestly, once you told me you had notes, I'm just going to riff off your notes.
All right.
The Key Grip has the porn star name of all time.
Divine Cox. That can't be his real name. Shout out to the End of the Realm group.
Yeah. That's why I got
Paul
that too.
Paul C got that up quick.
I saw that.
That was great.
So here's just what I wrote down during the movie. Because my memory is
you
trash.
weren't trying to
Was that your flashlight that kept going off?
Yeah, it didn't keep going off. It went off one time.
Well, someone else's went off.
I took a picture of Phil sleeping.
You were asleep?
I dozed through a quarter of it.
Damn it,
because
Phil.
I was so disappointed with the movie and I was tired. I was like, fuck this.
Big sleep.
I will say, yes, well, hang on. Phil just hit the nail on the proverbial head. Mason was with us and the word.
I expected Mason to kind of defend it, actually.
No,
but
we disappointed. Yes, that's a horrible picture, but yes. He looks like my sleepy redneck uncle.
He looks like a whole heroin addict.
Is that Baltimore lean?
This is that's post the walk across the chest vibe that Bobby first grabbed my popcorn. So what did he do after that to wake me up? He reached in and woke up the entire theater.
He sure did.
Pretty much the empty popcorn bag at that point.
In my head, I'm thinking this motherfucker would whip somebody's ass if they did that in there next to him. He'd be coming out of the seats like it's playing.
The first time you walked across, you
walked across.
You walked your fingers across my chest to get my popcorn. I was laughing so hard I thought everybody's gonna turn around and yell at me because, dude, I couldn't contain it. I was laughing.
Bobby was like, he's like going through the yellow pages back in the day. Put your fingers to the walking.
He did the yellow page finger walk.
Yeah, it's true.
Then he did the yellow page finger moonwalk. Oh, and he wasn't okay.
That's how I went back to my chest.
That was the most entertaining bit in the movie.
We get experience with the multiverse and absolutely no mention of the cartoon shit until the end.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show me the TV shit is not required reading.
Mm-hmm.
It helps. It boosts. It can help in your enjoyment, but you don't need it.
The only caveat I have is I don't know about WandaVision. I think WandaVision,
but they talk about
they do. I don't know, man.
That's fair because it's hard for me to say.
I would
I've seen
hey,
it, right?
listen, if you see this and you have not watched WandaVision, hit us up and let us know your opinion because I think that would be.
So my next note specifically is Scarlet Witch has more power. Mm-hmm. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see the amount of power that she had and the ease at which she was able to dispense it.
Yeah,
loved it. There's a scene where someone yells "Fortify your mind," which just made me laugh out loud. I don't know why.
So that was when she's attacking Kamar-Taj.
Fortify your mind.
So curious, what did you guys think of the battle scene? Because I thought that was a little.
Which one?
Where all the magic people are defending themselves.
You were going to say magicians. You were going to say it.
I caught myself. Yeah, they were all defending Kamar-Taj against her attack. So they were using all these conventional weapons. It seemed. Yes, they had magical arrows, but it's like if you're fighting a war of the wizards.
I thought it was all dumb. I thought it was like ridiculous and so I personally think that this is my next note is it should have been called Doctor Strange 2 Things Happening to People You Don't Care About.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good title.
All of these characters doing all of these things that they set up no reason why you should be invested in the least, bar Strange and Wanda. It's like it goes back to and then on top of that, it goes back to the same Marvel fucking trope. It's like you don't have the creative wherewithal to create a villain that make people invested. So you got to put another hero against another hero. And then when that's not good enough, well, fuck it. Just make him fight himself.
Yeah.
Enough.
It was dumb.
Enough.
There's plenty of good villains they could have picked from.
100%.
And, I was so pissed when they alluded to the fact that they just, quote unquote, destroyed all the versions of the Darkhold. So that means we're never going to see a Chthon, which is why the book was created in the first place. And that's also been mentioned as to why it exists. And they're not going to use it. It's like, what the fuck did you even mention it for? It didn't even need to be the Darkhold. It could have been fucking anything. It could have been a fucking Bible.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, agreed.
I was like, the Darkhold has no meaning because you didn't give it meaning.
Quick question. Mm-hmm. Is Murder Inc. canon? Because is Ashanti still? Because there's a book of Ashanti. Is it all her? Is it like
the book of Ashanti?
Oh baby,
that's good. That's good. The book of Ashanti is in.
It's Vashanti, right?
It's
the
Vishanti.
book of Vashanti. But I swear every time they say it, and I know what it is, but they say book of Ashanti. And I'm like,
the whole movie seemed less like a movie and more like a bonus scene to another movie on the DVD.
Yeah, dude, that's valid. Raimi spooged all over his own film just to do. He apparently had free. He apparently had free reign inside of this little box that Feige gave him, and he's like, "You can make it as wild and weird as you want," and he did that. But it was some cool visual gags that had no meaning, no gravity whatsoever.
Here's the problem. Bobby's going to hate me for saying this, but it's the truth. Marvel has a formula. While they remained in formula, that was not a fucking Marvel movie. Well, hang on, it's Raimi.
It is.
He's done some incredible work. Get the fuck out of my Marvel.
Yeah,
this isn't what I want.
See, see
the camera angles, goddamn shooting shit from inside of a fucking watch. I mean, me and you talking Phil and shaking each other back. I mean, just
the whole thing
aggravating.
When I was talking about the whole it's setting up for something else, right? It's setting up I agree that there's an element of that.
Yeah.
But the thing is all of the phase 1, 2, and 3 were setting up for something else also.
Yeah.
But the large majority of them were decent to good to great films
in and of themselves.
Independently standing on their own. And that's what this latest stuff is missing. Then my next note, even Phil fell asleep.
I mean, that speaks volumes.
It does. It really does.
I think that's all we need to know.
It sounds like a joke, but it's actually a fairly profound statement.
He did have a whole buffet of food, though.
Phil is the biggest comic book fan, maybe with the exception of Raul, but you guys are neck and neck that I know.
Yeah.
And for you to fall asleep
The first time I'm seeing a Marvel film,
Marvel film,
I think this is the first time that's happened. This is the first time I've seen a Marvel film that I've dozed in. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, I was just disappointed. That's what me and Mason said. We're just disappointed.
I said Marvel's Doctor Strange feels a lot like the Justice League. And then I said, here's this guy and here's another guy. And I know in my mind what I'm talking about is here's Richards and here's Professor X.
So let's talk about that for a little bit. I mean, we
it.
knew, honestly, did you guys get spoiled on? I mean,
I did not.
I did not either. Mason said he got spoiled by some Twitter bullshit.
Oh.
But
I assumed Richards was going to be there in some form. The fact that they had it be...
Well, there was no Tom Cruise as alternate Iron Man. Remember that?
That would be a bigger get than
that was. So
than Krasinski.
So I have. And listen, we're in the multiverse, right? Mm-hmm. All right, in their multiverse, where that movie takes place, The Office. Hang on, bear with me, Bob.
British or American?
God damn it, the only one.
The American.
The Office is actually. It's actually the American one. It's actually a reality show, and and Jim Halpert was so popular on that show that he's now an actor playing Reed Richards in this movie. And if you this came to mind while I'm watching them,
yeah,
and it's like
talked about it. It's super meta.
It's super funny, man, to think of it like that.
I think that he works though. I
think it's fucking great. But
he and his wife are the fan choice for those two characters for
he looked good.
Yeah,
he looked good as him. Like it doesn't. So
it doesn't track that he would get killed that quickly.
But not only that. I mean, obviously, there's going to be more, right? Because it's a different read. It's not the proper read.
Yeah.
It can't be. So, because there's a Fantastic Four movie coming.
Yeah.
I wrote on here, rewind the clocks 10 years. I just chose 10 arbitrarily. Here's the Avengers. It means everything because it's built on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the Illuminati. It means nothing because it's built on nothing.
Exactly.
So that gave me the chills.
Yep.
That was like a me telling my senses, stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is gonna be pointless.
They're fucking with you. Don't you see it?
And then they show the fucking the yellow scooter. And it's like, man.
And it was cool to see.
It was cool.
It was cool to see.
It was cool to see.
Wasted 30 seconds.
Yeah, but it was cool to see. I'm not mad at the experience of it. Like, it was cool to see, and I'm glad that we're not committed to that because I do want the X-Men to start fucking over. My next note is could have had a story between the Dark Doctor Strange and the Light Doctor Strange for the whole film, and that could have meant something because it was based on some material we already know,
right?
And it does imply this fabric of time and space that's polar opposites. But no, why bother? Let's learn about the Illuminati is my note.
And Rachel McAdams' character or whatever, Palmer, his love interest, was also a character in the movie, and they still didn't touch on what they set up in What If for her death to be a constant in every reality. And I thought this is a perfect thing. You're going to have the Dark Doctor Strange. You're going to have, she's in the movie. They show a potential wedding in the trailer. I was like, they're going to do this. They're going to make it canon from the What If, which is the best part of that What If story, and they didn't use it. I was like, you dumb fucks. You had a perfect setup, and you didn't do it.
Podding, man. Phil's podding.
But he's podding.
Dude, he's thirsty.
And then I put in there, Strange versus Wanda. No villain.
No villain. You're right. I mean, there is no villain.
And then those
like
creatures.
Your favorite football team.
Those creatures, I wrote...
Meaningless.
So I wrote man thing ? They looked man thingish.
Yeah, they did. Okay. I can tell you what they're
tell me.
They're mixed. They're a mixed nod to man thing because he's got some magical background, but they're also supposed to be the mindless ones from Dormammu's Dark Dimension.
Oh, okay.
Which is why Theron shows up in the end.
Gotcha. So I said man thing ? And then I said Strange versus Wanda. No villain? No. Not no villain enough. Let's have Strange versus Strange for the strangest strange event yet. Is what is in my notes.
Was Tech 9 there?
I did. Strange. Even though it was completely stupid, I did like Raimi nodding to himself for Evil Dead by reanimating the corpse because I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Just at the beginning. I was like,
and the
okay,
effects look cool of it.
The Evil Dead. I was like, oh yeah, he's doing the Evil Dead right here. That's great.
And it's a slight. Correct me if you feel differently, but for me watching it, it was a slight nod to the Marvel Zombie look.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Then my next note: fuck the new girl.
Yeah. So because I got to ask you both, since I did doze, did they ever delve into her character being LGBTQ?
No,
because she's supposed to be.
No, her parents. She has two moms.
Yep.
And that's as far as that
But
went.
she's supposed to be Latino and lesbian.
Mm-hmm. It's Latinx,
that's
actually.
like she's representation, and they didn't delve into that at all. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I thought maybe I missed it.
Meanwhile, in Moon Knight, Layla is not that. She's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
that doesn't matter.
From the comics.
from the
comics. Layla is
who cares?
She's the classic Bond girl.
I want
in
to
the
say
comic.
something about America there, and it's from the visuals. There were some serious issues with the CG in this film.
Okay, talk to me.
Well,
because I think you're more in tune to that than I am.
So
that's the shit that I'm more willing to honestly forgive. Than you.
I would rather
because you're
it look
into
like
that.
Yeah, I am too. But what did you see?
So the octopus monster, whatever, looked like shit.
Yeah,
that was awful.
That looked unfinished because I think
looked
they
like
threw
shit.
that in because they aren't. What that is from the comic is from. Well, it's actually from the video game, but they're not. They're not allowed to
8
use
levels of hell away from where I am.
Well, they're not allowed to use the name, so I think they kind of threw it on in the last minute and just called it Squid Thing.
Well, it looked awful, and what else looked awful is when America was running from that creature.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting, it was the lighting on her versus the green screen was so fucking foreign that it looked like somebody had pressed a goddamn stroke button on her where she strolled through. There were some scenes with Wanda and Strange talking back and forth, and the lighting didn't match up with what was going on. I'm going to blame the key grip.
I would.
I'm going to blame him right now.
He was busy doing a porn scene.
If I was,
Maybe so.
Listen, Divine.
Cock.
Listen, Divine Cox. Get your shit together, for one. And for two, I'm tired of you blaming it on a friend of the show, family member, Raymond Burgess, who was the best boy, and also cousin to Eric B.
That's right. We have a direct line.
Shout out to Eric B.
Listen, Gilbert Arenas
and my buddy
Burgess.
Rio.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all coming together now.
Then my next note, worst Marvel movie to date. I typed that in at some point.
I'm still on the fence between this and Iron Man 3. But
so here's the thing.
Bad.
I prefer Iron Man 3.
I prefer Iron Man 3. And here's the thing. I really dislike Iron Man 3, but at least I understand the story of it.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it was just
that's fair.
felt like a bunch of random ass shit. Like this. You know when the Emperor is electrocuting Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi, he's like, "You'll pay the price for your lack of vision." I want to do that to the director of Doctor Strange 2. You'll pay the price for your lack of vision. Like, it's just like it seemed like an excuse for that dude to do his extraordinary shit in the Marvel world. So
it felt like, to me, since it felt like he was saying F you to the fans since everybody berated him about Spider-Man 3 back in the day.
Then I said, people don't love Marvel Comics.
No.
It's obvious. They love the idea of Marvel Comics. I wrote that. And
I love Marvel Comics.
And then I said,
oh no.
I can't believe who did the score of this bullshit.
Oh, dude, the score.
Hold on. Danny Elfman. I'm disappointed with you most of all.
Yes.
Dude, he phoned that shit in.
That was awful.
I usually
bad.
love his stuff, and he phoned that shit in. That was terrible.
So, like,
complete cheese and on the nose bullshit.
There was a scene where they were running through one of those tunnels. It's like,
dude, when the two strangers are doing the musical battle, I was like, that's Hammer Time from the '90s, the cartoon.
That was awful.
That was the cartoon Hammer Time. Where
that scene with the music notes might be the worst scene in the history of Marvel.
That's bad, dude.
That was so
bad. Awful. I want my bird.
I've been saying, like, I put up an Instagram story that just was a bunch of trash emojis.
Yep.
And I can tell you that this morning I woke up to a lot of DMs. But my response to them was, look, you may not feel the same way. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, And I was like, but I am not sipping the Marvel Kool-Aid anymore. I love Marvel. I'll always love Marvel. I will be there when it's good, but I'm tired of forgiving it. I'm going to call it out when it's subpar, and not enough people are calling out the subpar, and as a result, the subpar is building, not unlike a snowball falling down an avalanche, Pinkerton, into monstrous shit because they think they can get away with it. Looking at the score that you pulled up right out of the movies, the critic score was 71%, and at least I can understand that, and the audience score was 90-some shit.
Yeah, I was going to look. It's funny. Mason and I were talking about this, and seeing how the opinion online mostly seemed to be a positive reaction. But he sent me a Twitter screenshot today and said, seeing actually good takes online, which if you enjoy watching a handful of randomly selected branded characters wisecrack, squabble, and mope while pretending to fly around and shoot fireballs at the virtual scenery, here comes another 2 hours of that.
Yeah.
It was so mid. Writing was dreadful and story was rushed. Such a letdown. And another one is there's no character depth or development in it, and the characters would enter only to leave 5 minutes later, having added nothing to the plot.
This should have been the movie to tie everything from Endgame together to this point. This should have been the grounding point to then jump forward and do whatever you want for a bit, but to just pull it together for just a minute. We have all these shows, all this nonsense, 3 Spider-Men, et cetera, et cetera. This should have been the moment to say, here are the rules.
Okay.
Now we're moving forward.
And the end of the film basically is the exact same as the beginning. He has the same, there's still an issue with whatever he's infected with now. And nothing has changed from the beginning, except you have the new character that they don't bother to name, so you're the hardcore fan and you know who she is when Theron shows up, or you don't, and they don't even name who it is. They can't be bothered.
So you want me to get deeper?
Go ahead.
He's the same.
Yeah.
Strange is
the same.
So let me break that down. Captain America is not the same at the end of Winter Soldier as he is at the end of First Avenger.
Right.
Yeah.
Thor is not the same at the end of Dark World as he is at Thor. Iron Man is not the same at the end of Iron Man 2 as he was at the end of Iron Man.
Nope.
Marvel has had this ability to give these characters arcs over the course of multiple films. And whatever, it's like, I hate to say it, but my feelings on this, and has been for some time, is there is a level of complacency in that studio that is now causing harm.
I think you're right. And I think in our mind at Marvel Studios headquarters, there's this giant whiteboard, and they've got all okay.
I think that's how it started. I don't think it's going that way anymore.
So it just so let me extrapolate this. So there's this giant timeline they've got drawn out, and it started out in 2010 or whenever Iron Man came out, and it spread all the way across. And I think, to your point, it's just like in Loki, right? It started to branch off, and we're going to do this over here, we're going to do this over here, and now they've gone from, this thing as wide as your coaster here to this 4 foot by 4 foot table. And they're like, what the fuck? And they need the TVA they truly need the fucking real TVA to come in and fix this, because I don't know. I just keep going back to this word. I was so disappointed by this film. I mean, to the point where
and it's saying something coming from you two. It's not saying anything coming from me.
I had super high expectations after Spider-Man.
My 20-year-old son was just as disappointed.
And that's even more significant.
And the awful thing,
I think Mason was in the same boat as I was, where after Spider-Man, I know that's not a perfect film, but the way the fan service was done in there, where the Spider-Man had meaning,
it felt good.
And after that, I was like, okay, Strange needs to knock it out of the park. This set it up.
Yeah.
Put the ball on the tee.
Yeah. And they were falling all over themselves.
Raimi said he was topping if you look at just the crowd pop from the surprises, maybe, but I don't think so.
No.
I mean, our crowd,
I didn't hear too many cheers.
We got a bigger, and I've heard this from multiple people, a bigger cheer from the dude playing Reed Richards. You said
Yeah.
I'm marked out, dude.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
than from Professor X
Yeah.
being
Because
in the
we-
Marvel
yeah.
Cinematic Universe.
Well, we had
Professor fucking X,
But
in the
Stuart-
yellow floating
That's true.
chair.
Stuart was given away in the
Dude,
trailer.
If I
but-
rewind the clocks back 5 years and I'm like, look, there's a movie coming. Reed Richards is going to be in it, and Professor X is going to be in it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And people are going to cheer more for Reed Richards than they are Professor X. You guys would laugh me out of the fucking
Probably.
That's true. Yeah.
Probably
Because of
so.
all the bad Fox X-Men shit. I mean, the Fantastic Four stuff.
and the idea of it just of both being ludicrous, but even if it, you know what I mean, because they were at Fox, but on top of that, even if it wasn't ludicrous, just logistically, it's the fucking X-Men. They're the rock stars of the comic industry. Period.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to pair him with the Fantastic Four
You know,
in a film.
sad.
Made me think of nothing.
Okay.
So some nonsense about hip hop.
So-
Oh no, I'm always down for some hip
okay.
hop
Well,
nonsense.
you said ludicrous in the way you said it. There's a song called "Stomp" by.
I'm familiar with Stomp.
Me getting beat down. That's ludicrous. They took T.I.'s verse.
So-
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
on the album. You can find it. They substituted somebody else because they didn't want the beef.
Because there was one
There
between
was
this.
beef between
Yeah,
T.I.
yeah,
and Luda
yeah.
at the time.
So we have two. Do you have something about that? Because I want to wrap this up a little bit.
I was just going to mention, I forget who, when we walked out, asked me who the end character was. Charlie Theron. I don't remember.
Oh,
who it
yeah.
was. So that's supposed to be Clea. That's
Yeah.
Dormammu's niece. And
cares?
she's his lover in the comics.
Who cares? Who cares?
Listen,
Doctor Strange's lover.
Who cares?
If you're gonna pick somebody for me to have to look at for 2 hours, I'm completely okay with it being Charlize.
So we have two before we get out of here, because we have the thought provoker
Yeah, I
himself.
was going to say, don't forget the thought.
We have two thought provoking things.
Now, just to be clear, you are now getting these sent to you by listeners.
More than you could imagine. But for one, the thought provoker himself sent me one.
I went ultra
and
meta.
asked
Oh, man.
if he could choose this week.
Okay,
So he sent this young lady.
you got to show me the picture now.
Oh, you know I am.
Okay, so you have plenty of years.
But see, here's the thing about that I know about Phil. In spite of his lack of style and stupid hat,
You turn around backwards.
he is actually Italian. And there's this young lady wearing a wife beater and an Italian flag panties, and she's
That's a spicy meatball, Bobby.
it is she looks like she's up for it, right? To the layman.
Oh, I'm ready for this one. I got my eyes
Now, she said
closed.
something first that prompted.
Yes, I'm trying to find that.
I sent it to you a second because I didn't realize it.
Oh,
it got
okay,
cut off.
okay.
Yeah.
So she said when she posted the picture, can we all just pretend that I didn't miss someone's birthday and posted it right on time? So she missed a birthday, Chris.
Someone's.
No one's perfect.
No one is.
And Phil respond under the nerd rage flag, I might add. Lady. Not her name. Lady. You can post your fire emoji, pics anytime, and they will be right on time.
Man. We need some background music for this theme. Hey, Blaster, get us some Barry White.
So now we have a new tradition. Whenever Phil
Is here.
we are going to do a live thought
So I
provoke.
got to come up with something off the cuff.
Yep.
All right.
Go to the most recent cosplay in your feed.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure it won't take many scrolls there.
Hey, Phil.
Oh, wait, I had a response about that.
Phil, how's that blue check coming on Twitter? Is this how we're doing it?
Click by click, Chris.
Yeah.
Click by click.
Click by click.
Let's scroll through the feed. That great.
Oh, you know,
Oh, it doesn't have to be great.
Oh, you know that. Shout out to Brian. He sent me another. Him and his
Which
wife
Brian?
sent me another file that I'm only using for Bobby Boogie Bob.
Oh, fuck, it's so good.
That's not it. But that is on the Bobby Boogie Bob. But this one too.
Bobby, push the buttons.
Has your wife heard that?
same lady.
All right.
Same lady.
But has your wife heard that one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
she rolled her eyes and called me an idiot. But that
Probably.
it could have been anything.
Come on, keep it like at least PG-13. We don't need any.
Well, there's
listen, I know I talk about.
No,
tank.
so just pull up,
I know I talk about tanks a lot.
Pull up the first one. Let's see his
Twitter.
picture. Okay, it didn't take long.
So what
this
she
is an
wrote
elf.
is
She's an elf.
No, well, it's supposed to be Link. So this is if Zelda.
He's defending Milady.
It's weird because I don't know how much she knows about this, but if Zelda was a girl, Zelda is a girl in the.
So call her out.
Tell her you could be her missing link.
Oh,
dude, I had some. That's better.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, Bobby's giving me.
That is good.
It doesn't work if you give me the line.
Oh man, well then come up with something, Phil.
All right, so what are you texting me?
I was gonna say.
All right, and I want show me the picture. Show me the picture. So I can take a picture of it.
If Zelda was a girl.
That picture I took is perfect.
Oh my god.
Okay, so damn.
I'm sending it.
I like the one Bobby said. I know.
So what did you say?
I can be your missing link anytime, and anytime in all caps with 3 dots afterwards.
Right. If
Don't
Zelda
make it
was
5 dots.
No. I'm gonna repeat what she said. If Zelda was a girl, ... I would be your missing link.
There you go. Tie it together. Phil's available for birthday parties and bar mitzvahs. If you do have an appropriate,
Dude, you're gonna get me thrown in jail
for 18 or older.
Yeah, 18 or older. Kids party. Yeah. Do you have a relative you'd like creeped out on the internet? We can offer that service too. Hey, shout out to Jeremy B's grandmother-in-law and her friends. If you're still listening.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, somebody show him
I wonder what his grandma thinks about my thoughts.
Maybe, I don't know.
My thoughts. Didn't Phil get a good joke yesterday too?
I think he got one on us. Yeah.
Remember we were all like, Phil, good joke.
Oh, it was right before the movie. It's during the movie.
Yeah, you had a good one. You had a good one.
Damn, I don't remember what it was.
We should have wrote it down, Phil.
All right. So Phil's sending it right now. So keep your eyes peeled for the.
Yes. Shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage team. Shout out to Phil, who's here and holds down our Twitter and our notes. Shout out to.
He holds it down so tight.
holds you fucking down with your fucking throat. Shout out.
Inappropriate, Phil. What? I'm quitting. That's awful.
Shout out to Dante, who
moan in my presence.
Holds down our Facebook.
Well, he wouldn't hit the button. You gotta give me a button press once in a while, dude. I can't be the sound guy for you.
Shout out to Raul, who holds down our Instagram, and shout out to all the other folks, Ricky Tiki Timber, who holds down the videos, and anybody else who works behind the scenes. And with that, Joe would usually say flappy labias,
velvety vagina,
takes D-Tank,
tight dick player.